Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ZSR, and welcome to the Ocarina of Time Glitchless all main quest community race, the UOT community coming together to have a fun time. We have 15 racers, and we have two very much fantastic commentators in Average Greg and Kadrin. Take it away, it's all yours.
Hello everybody, my name is Kadrin, and I'm joined by
Hi,
Average Greg.
How's it going? So it has to be a glitchless all main quests race. The name all main quests is maybe a little bit of a misnomer, but it's what we came up with basically to define this category when we did rule discussions a few years ago, and it's just kind of stuck. The idea behind this category is that we have always split glitchless into two separate rule sets, one more restrictive, one less restrictive, and over time we wanted to kind of maintain this sort of route, and so the best way to do that was just to come up with goals to be completed instead of ruled in by the tech that's allowed instead. So each dungeon has its own little goal assignment with it. You have to complete that goal before you can do the dungeon.
Yeah, you
and
can
it's a bit
find
more restrictive in terms of rules allowed. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say
it's a bit more restrictive as well.
You can find a full list of the goals on the Speedrun.com page, but it's stuff like beating dungeons in order, gain Goron bracelet before we go to the Daughter's Cavern, all that. So it's gonna be pretty similar to what you would see in the casual playthrough, just obviously much faster and with some tricks sprinkled in here and there. One thing to note, our racers are doing this on Faster Quest, which is a ROM hack that removes the cutscenes. It has some time-saving stuff. It's sort of like, rando without the rando. So,
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, saves us a couple hours.
It's been around for a while now. Faster Quest. Yeah, it saves a little over about an hour and a half, I think.
Yeah.
More than hour 20, hour and a half, roughly around that. It's hard to say. Because it also speeds up a lot of text as well, that otherwise would bog you down quite a lot. And they're off.
Yep, looks like our race has just started.
Yep, so see, they leave and then no cutscene, just straight into it.
As Trez said earlier, there are 15 racers playing right now. We only have 4 shown at the moment, but we will switch between some of our other racers later throughout the stream. And
try and showcase as many people as possible.
And so here we have Danny B, Count, Adam, Runner Guy. These are all very, very well-respected runners. Danny B is one of the most prominent glitchless runners in the community. He's been writing it for years. I believe he has. I want to say he's like 2nd or 3rd place in AMQ. He's somewhere up there.
I think he's 3rd in AMQ and 2nd in 80% currently.
Yeah.
I think RTA and Smoggy have beaten AMQ currently.
Yeah. And of course, we have Count, top runner in a lot of glitch categories. I'm not sure if he's actually done glitchless before.
He's joined the glitchless race last year.
Yeah.
So he's done one run of it, I believe.
Yeah, he actually holds the 80% world record. I believe he still holds the GSR record. That might be marked
and an MST now as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Count is a freak of nature, honestly, when it comes to this game. He is completely inhuman.
And so
Runner Guy and Adam are both well known for playing bingo. They've done a lot of stuff as well. They do a lot of challenge stuff and other runs, but mostly bingo is what they're known for. I think
Count also has Nocturne record. That's
Nocturne
true
as well. Correct. Yes.
So as you're seeing here, we're just doing this is the standard rupee route. Backwalk, go through sword, go through maze, and then we collect like 25 rupees coming out of the maze. We do bridge clip to get up onto that, which it isn't actually a clip. It is glitchless, I promise.
Yes.
One-way collision, and we have Shion now, and we're starting Deku Tree.
Yes, Deku Tree is a pretty fast-paced dungeon. It's very short. It's obviously a tutorial dungeon that teaches you about the basic mechanics of the game, but in a speedrun, it's actually incredibly technical and quite difficult. These Warchillers here, when they look at you, will try to obviously run at you. You have to try and manipulate them so they don't do that. And Danny here is going to be trying to do something called B1 skip, where he's going to try to side up off this web as it breaks, and then jump slash at the right time to land up here. Very nice. And then from here, you can just backflip and light the stick, and you slip on the web to get down. And hopefully from here, you can also do something called fast scrubs, where you kill these scrubs in the right order.
Yep.
Without having to waste a bunch of time. Okay, didn't quite
Oh,
get it.
Danny missed it.
But got 2 of them at least. That was pretty good. You see Adam here doing a backup for B1. If you don't get it, you can just do a little jump up here instead.
Count almost got it. Fast scrubs can be very tricky because need to get the right position.
Yeah, and if you accidentally hit one of them out of order, then it completely screws you up. Oh, count. Okay.
Yeah. There are, I should mention, we have Goma Quick Kill coming up, so...
Nice.
Yeah, I'm sure many OT viewers are familiar with this, but Power Crouch Stab stores the last damage value of your attack, and Stit Jump Slash is Master Sword Jump Slash damage. So we can kill Goma in a swift 3 hits, just like that. And within 4 minutes, Deku Tree is already over.
Yep. Getting the Heart Container here. The Heart Containers, you used to be able to skip them, but we found a way to skip getting Goron Tunic, and because you skip Goron Tunic, you need as much as possible to survive in Fire Temple. So you get every Heart Container as child. Make sure you have 6 hearts going into Fire Temple later.
Yep. Oh, Count and Runner Guy are like almost synced up here.
Yeah. Count has some fun with the scrubs.
Just a few seconds off.
In terms of movement, you see they'll be backwalking a lot. Backwalking is the fastest form of movement in a straight line, except for side hops as child, but they're hard. They should do them frame perfect. They're not going to be faster.
Yeah.
And so backwalking is what you can do across large distances, like this field, for example. But for short distances, combination of side hops and rolling is usually going to be faster.
Yeah.
It really depends on the situation they're in.
Yeah, it just depends on the area. Like, if you saw, like, coming back from Sword, they did a lot of side hops. You know, bots movement is what that's called. Usually, like usually you're gonna want to like combine rolls and bat walks, but side hops, are good depending on the circumstance.
And not sure to do here at this point. We're just trying to waste time a day because you want it to be nighttime. We need to basically do the start of the child trade quest to get Zelda's Lullaby, and for that you need to wait for nighttime and hatch the egg that Malon gives you. So if you can get some rupees, wait for nighttime because there's less lag in market at nighttime. The basic kind of path now is just to get Zelda's Lullaby. Count is ignoring the route completely and going to Kakariko, it looks like.
Wait.
Oh no, he's just trolling, I guess. The basic path right now is to get Zelda's Lullaby and let her as soon as possible. Because that's the way you're going to advance in this game. And then from here it's just about do some overworld stuff. Get Zelda's Letter, get Cyrus on, get Goron Bracelet, and get to Donga's Cavern to get bombs.
I think it's a little amusing here. We have 2 VC runners and we have 2 N64 runners here. Looks like.
Yes. It does matter. VC is the faster console out of the 2. For Glitchless specifically, it's like the 4th fastest, I think, behind like Wii U, Switch, and IQ. But most players tend to prefer playing on VC in issues that aren't present in these versions.
Grade's trying very hard not to slander N64 here. He doesn't want Adam to get mad at him.
I mean, I have talked so much smack about N64. You have no idea.
Ship is not legal now, no starts. There has been a lot of talk in recent years, well, I guess throughout much of the OOT community's lifespan, about IQ, because IQ is the fastest version of the game just due to Chinese tuts being fast. But I believe they're still working on like soft modding and stuff for that, and like there's some rules discussions that need to be worked out.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
not
not.
entirely sure. I lost track
Yeah.
of stuff a while ago. I just leave it to the experts.
Yeah, WeVC is just very accessible. You know, Wii's are so cheap, and it's easy to mod for these purposes. So that's what most people run on.
And here going into to guards. These guards, their vision cones are a bit weird. They're like little bubbles that like shoot out from them. So if they hit you, they can only catch you if you're on the ground for more than 1 frame. If you set up frame perfectly, you can get past them no problem. But you definitely be a bit careful, because if you do land the ground for more than 1 frame, you will get caught and thrown out, waste a lot of time. Danny's playing it safe there and just waiting for him to turn his head.
I will say, I was in Danny's stream earlier, and he said that he hadn't played Glitchless in about a year, roughly. He's a fairly recent follower. You know, he's been taking care of his child, so.
Yeah, he's been a bit busy with personal stuff. He's got a house, wife, a dog, a child. he's a family man, so you know, got other priorities and playing Ocarina of Time. But he's still active in the Discord and the community and helping him advice and rule discussions, things like that. It's just not playing the game as actively.
Yeah, big ups from him.
Yeah.
Like I said, he is doing very well. He is in the lead between these 4 right now. At the moment.
Yes,
So.
he is by far the most experienced glitchless player in this race. maybe RTA. I don't know. Those two are both incredible players.
Yeah, RTA is also very good at this game. He is not in this race though, unfortunately.
He is.
Oh, he is?
He
Never mind.
Late.
Okay.
He joined late, but yeah.
Yeah, joined last minute. Okay.
Last minute he joined, so we'll get him on stream at some point.
Alright, that is very exciting, actually.
Yeah. As you can see, pretty standard stuff right now. Just getting ZL, get the letter, get to Growing City, get Cyrus on, all that kind of stuff. This is unfortunately like the slowest part of the categories right at the beginning. The first, when playing on vanilla, the first half an hour or so is incredibly slow for this category. Outside of the tree. Which can put some players off, and I get that completely. But once you get to DC, it really picks up in pace.
In vanilla, there's a very long cutscene when you talk to Zelda, and then you have to have the Zelda's Lullaby cutscene, and that takes up a decent bit of time.
Yeah, it's a lot of text and cutscenes. Like you beat Deku Tree and you got a 4-minute cutscene of getting the Emerald, then you leave Kirin Forest, you got a mid-long cutscene of getting Ocarina, and then you went around for time of day because you went to hatch the egg, and then you go all the way around again for the cutscenes and all that kind of stuff. It's a lot of doing nothing. Like more than half of the time in the first half an hour or so is just mashing buttons and waiting for time to take over, which can put players off. It is also a quite long category in comparison. It's a lot of fun. I love Glitchless a lot.
I will say that for those curious, I believe the Faster Quest world record is 2 hours 23 minutes, and the Glitchless or the regular Glitchless AMQ world record is 3 hours 35 minutes.
3:35, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, by Smoggy.
Yeah.
So it's over an hour saved over the course of the runs, just removing cutscenes, having fast tests, all that.
Yeah,
so it's
if you're
very
curious about playing
racing.
Glitchless, then I do recommend starting with Faster Quest or even something like Ship with the cutscene remover and just seeing what it's like. Because it is a very fun category. It's just quite a time investment, unfortunately. Not everyone has the time to spend 4+ hours, especially when you're just starting out.
Yeah. This is another example of the bots movement here in the SFM maze. He's side hopping and back walking a bunch, getting through this very fast.
Yeah, in like those kind of corridor type areas, the box movement really works out. It's because you can't really cut the corners that well with rolls.
Count just got to SFM, it seems. Did Adam not light the torch the first time, or?
I think he may have missed it. I don't know.
Yeah.
He needs to light this torch now just to be quite safe.
Yeah.
Getting that torch with your stick lit all the way can be quite tricky. You have to really cut the corner as well. And if you get stuck at any point, you basically have to light that torch and waste some time because you're just gonna burn out. You have like 1 or 2 seconds of leeway at best.
Yeah, the stit timer is very tricky on that.
You see Danny just save warped after getting Saracen. It's a little bit... I think on faster quest it's not actually that faster, but it's just muscle memory to do it, because normally you would save warp to skip having talked to her now in Lost Woods. I don't think it eventually matters in faster quest, but you know, I think part of playing some faster quest is just following the category as it is, trying to deviate too much from it.
Another thing you will see sometimes, I'm not sure if you actually see it in this run, is a death warp, just dying to reload back to the last entrance of
not
the
in
scene you're in.
Category anymore, because
anymore.
You used to have one when we used to get Goron Tunic, the Fire Temple, but now we don't get Goron Tunic. You want to preserve high health, so you want to save warp instead of death warp.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, if you get Goron Tunic, Goron Tunic skip in this saves about a minute or so, so it's not, when you're just starting out with it, you can just get Goron Tunic and it's fine. But it will mean you have to do death warp instead of save warp if you want to be optimal about it.
Yeah,
Fire Temple, which
and we definitely will
tricky.
see. Yeah, I was gonna say we definitely will see some runners skip Goron Tunic here, or get Goron Tunic. Excuse me.
Yeah, I fully expect some people to pick it up, especially if they're like new to the category. But again, they might say, "Oh, screw it, I'll just try the fastest route for everything."
Yeah, even if you're not super new to the category, for a race like this, it can be, safer just to do it like that. Because Goron Tunic skip can be a little scary.
Yeah.
Right, we are entering DC now.
Yep.
With Danny.
DC is a very sick dungeon in Glitchless. It's probably like it's definitely far and away the best child dungeon in Glitchless. There's no question about that. And part of it is because a lack of resources. If you want to be really fast about it, you have very few Deku nuts. You don't have a Hylian shield. Any source of fire will burn your Deku shield, which is terrible because you rely on having a shield for a lot of setups and for combat. So it's pretty devastating if you do burn your shield, which is the main concern. So you can circumvent that by just getting a Hylian shield before... Oh, count. Getting a Hylian shield before going to DC, but it is a bit slower. And Count tried to time it so that he could blow up the boulder and not interfere with the cutscene as much, but just cooked the bomb flower a bit too much there.
Yeah, it has been the plight of many a glitchless runner to burn Deku Shield in DC. It's a very infamous.
Yeah, it's a rite of passage for glitchless. This point to burn your shield. Alright, can't be going to see more examples of power crash stab from Danny here. These are Zalfos. They have 6 health. When you do more than half the health to them, they'll run away. So if you do 2 damage with a like a stick slash, like stored in power crash stab, and then a 4 damage jump slash stored, you can circumvent them like run away pattern entirely and just kill them both pretty quickly. Otherwise, that fight can be a bit of a pain. They run away and you have to chase after them, and it takes a long time.
Did we have any idea of when we want to switch between racers exactly? Like,
I don't. I thought every half an hour or so, maybe. Maybe like after DC, you can look into it or something.
Yeah, that's fair.
We kind of want to keep one person on, just have like some sort of through line for this. I think maybe it counts because it's got the clean audio. Yeah, the DC's at this point is just trying to get to the bombs as soon as possible. Here Danny's be using his bomb flowers to lower this little staircase here. Which you're supposed to like throw one either side so it blows up. But you have to have one in the middle here, so it blows up evenly. But you can just like do this instead. There's also a way you can do it if you just throw 2 of them into like the back corner there on the right side. But I don't think that's allowed in Glitchless.
Yeah, I've...
And I can't remember what exactly it is. It's like some sort of invisible collision.
Yeah, I also forget how it works.
This is one of the scariest rooms coming up for Danny here. There's two fire keys in this room, and if you don't get this little parkour first time, it can be a bit awkward. Okay, he's fine.
Yeah.
You get it. Oh, this fire keys might give him problems, but he's waiting for it to move.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, he was a little scared of that guy.
yeah. I blame him. Is he too far
I would
left?
be
Is
too.
he gonna walk off the edge? Oh my god. Kind of a bit close, but you know. That guy there as well. But luckily, what Danny's doing here is setting up this little skip here. And that skips a Navi text box. Which obviously aren't in Faster Quest, but you know. Just might as well follow. Again, we're saying like you must follow the route exactly. And here is
Are Navi...
the Navis aren't in. Oh, maybe they are actually, because yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say
they kept in. You're right.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I'm pretty sure I saw that in Deku Tree, so that was
Yes, you're right.
optimal.
Yes. And that was the first flame skip from Danny as well. Normally you need slingshot to like shoot ice witches to lower the flames, but you can just about jump around them on the corners. So if you line up just right, you can just hop around the fire rings. It's a bit tight, and this is the most common shield burning spot in the entire dungeon. You get these wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, RG.
I did see Danny practicing this on stream earlier. Oh.
Oh my god.
That
was very spooky. Very nice from Danny.
Yeah, he got through it. Whew. He's good.
Oh, count got twisted backward there.
Yeah.
Be careful with these fire keys now.
Isn't this just glitchless MST?
Yes.
Sort of.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
You have to, not because it's more because like you have to do that. Yeah. Not
yeah, I was just gonna
but,
say, you can think of it as glitchless MST, but like there are goals that are specifically related to just like beating a dungeon or whatever. Like you have to get Gorm Bracelet before you enter DC. You have to feed the fish to Jabu, all that. Alright, let's see. Does Adam get this also? Oh.
Yeah, this is as you said, when this room goes wrong, it gets out of control. Because suddenly you've got these armors attacking you, you've got fire keys on you.
Yeah, it looks like Adam killed the fire keys though, so should be good. Yeah, cool. Glitchless 80% is very different from AMQ. It has a less restricted rule set, but it also doesn't have any of the goals, which are the all main quests that AMQ stands for. And so it actually skips 3 dungeons of the game. It skips forest, fire, and water, because it follows the philosophy of, you know, if a technique isn't a glitch, then their natural results of using that technique are also not glitches. Yeah. So it tends to play much looser with it.
Yeah, as a result, it's also a much shorter category.
It is a very cool category, though.
The record is, I believe, 209 right now.
I believe that's accurate, yes.
Yeah, which is obviously an hour and a half faster than AMQ, because you can do things out of order, you can skip a lot of stuff completely. It's a really cool... I love Glitchless 80%, but it's obviously not as popular as AMQ.
Adam's on 3/4 a heart here. This is
he didn't get any from the other Southpaws. You could go and get the hearts at the end here if you wanted to. Yeah. To get skirts up anyway, just to make sure. Oh my god, the S64 is so laggy here.
Yeah, I would say it is pretty impressive that none of these runners have burned their shield. At least so far, there is still the room before Katie that may be a problem.
Yeah.
AMQ is
is-
completely
it's-
sequence locked. Yes.
Yeah, not because it's forced to be sequence locked. Like you can do dungeons technically in any order you want to, but it's more it's just faster to do them. When you have these goals in mind, it's faster to do them in the order we have. So it's
Yeah, it was like you have to get Nocturne before you enter Shadow. You can
so
do
you
like
have to do
fire.
those.
Yeah, you can do like fire, water, forest, spirit out of order. In fact, this run does do them out of order, I believe.
Yeah, and our order for other dungeons are fire, forest, water, spirit, and shadow. Because obviously those first three, you do need bow for water temple. It's only a requirement for water temple, which you need bow. So forest has to come before water because of that. And then obviously you need to do forest, fire, and water before you can do shadow. So that has to come before that as well. So there are like soft requirements in the dungeons themselves, and also just it works out faster for the route to be this order for the dungeons.
Because
we have
AMQ.
tried to change in the past, but it just doesn't stick. Like it's just not faster.
That's what I was saying.
tried.
Because of all the restrictions AMQ has, it's very difficult to innovate in it and to find new stuff. There have been things that have been like discussed for like potential changes or tech, whatever. Like a big one that has been looked into before and has been kind of a wish list for some people is getting to Big Octo early in Jabu, but that is not possible as far as we know under this rule set.
Yeah, because you can get the big Octo early in 80%, because if you do damage boosts, those are banned in this category. So if you find a non-damage boost way to get to big Octo, which just seems unlikely with the tools you have available for you to you.
Damage
also, big
boost.
Octo is also required, I believe, for Jabu. Because you have to be on the mini bosses regardless.
Damage boosts are allowed in AMQ. You can do damage boosts in AMQ, but there's like additional
You're right,
problems
they are.
with.
I know I forgot about that. You're so
They
right,
were,
yeah.
they
were
did
banned
used
for so
to.
long.
Yeah, they did used to be banned for a long while.
Yeah,
you know, Grade's
it's
just old.
Yeah, I am just old. Yeah, we did those rule discussions literally 5 years ago, so I'm trying to remember. Yes, you're right, but because one of the rules of AMQ is you have to beat the mini bosses as well, so you can't skip Big Octo. Therefore, it's no reason to go look at Big Octo skip.
What to watch for during AMQ as an observer? I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that, but if you mean like
cool,
what's
cool
most
stuff,
important.
like cool stuff. If you look at like excitement stuff, and then anything like later on we get to adult section. The adult dungeons are really cool. There's a lot of interesting parkour, uses of Feral's wind, things like that to teleport back and forth between areas.
But if we mean like the most important thing for AMQ, that would definitely be like the movement. Movement is so big in Glitchless, you know, because we don't have. Yeah, we obviously don't have a lot of the super complicated glitches that the other categories have, and AMQ is very well optimized for how long of a run it is.
Yeah, it's incredibly optimized. To kind of give you an idea, a similar category to compare it to in length would be 100%, and runners for 100% will for a good runner, a finished run will be within about 10 minutes of some of the best, like splits. For Glitchless, you're within about 2.5 minutes of your summer best. So it's incredibly optimized. You'll have to lose like less than 5 seconds per split, basically.
Starts ground jumping and recoil jumping are not allowed in AMQ. They are allowed in, or recoil jumping is allowed in Glitchless 80%. But not in AMQ. So instead of ground jumps, we will be seeing some other clever jumps to accomplish similar things later in the run. We'll be seeing that in Ice Cavern. We'll see that a couple other places. I won't spoil you yet.
Yeah, there's some really cool rooms in this game, in this category. I just liked the movement and the parkour just is infinite beauty. Just kind of let it speak for itself. It depends on really on how you feel about that kind of stuff. If you're like a complete nerd about the movement of this game, like me, you find it incredibly exciting. but if you're not interested, then it might come across as pretty tame. It's just one of those categories where if you find that stuff interesting, you will fall in love with it. But if you don't, then that's fine. There's plenty of glitch categories you can do instead. It's not a problem. But people who play this category for a bit tend to get really, really into it. So Danny here just almost forgot to get a fish for beat Jabu, which is one of the main quests required.
Yeah, AMQ is a very popular category in this game. It's also one of the most, if you can get past how long it takes to actually finish a run, is one of the most beginner friendly, because it doesn't rely on those hard tricks. It's all movement, and all that like the little movement tech and the optimizations do transfer over to other categories, obviously, because if you can do an area fast in AMQ, you can do it fast in other contests. That was a weird way to phrase that, but
that's fine.
It looks
do you want to switch up the players?
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
I suppose we just
RTA. Bring on Gorfo maybe. You organize this.
Well, I don't know.
Is a good one.
Does Trez have it to preset runners, or is it just?
No, I don't know. But you just say just to pin him if you need to change it. So I'm gonna say yes.
All right. I'll just pin Trez.
Oh, okay. Ping him. Okay. While you're doing that, I'll keep things going. So yeah, this whole sequence in Zora's Domain is just to get the silver scale to get the letter. The diving mini game is actually kind of technical. You have to. There are a lot of little small things you can do to optimize your diving pattern and stretch into different rupees to try and get multiple in one dive. It's quite an annoying section because if you get a bad rupee spread, then you can lose quite a bit of time if you don't fault your own. And the category is optimized as this. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah, I believe
like Adam's spread here, for example, is pretty bad. He's not going to get that many doubles, maybe one double if he's lucky.
I believe it was actually Danny who found that you can do a diving game in one dive if you jump slash down to the water and get really good RNG. Because I believe jump slashing into the water allows you to start moving around earlier than just a regular dive does. That was a fairly recent find.
There's a bit in Java here. The first section is literally just the route to escort section. It's not that interesting. I think you could do the optimizer here and there, but it's mostly just carrying her around and trying not to lose time by running into the bubbles, the shabombs. You can use Bruto here to kill one of these stinners, which is quite nice.
Yeah, I really like this. Oh. And okay. We have switched to a new set of runners, and so they're also in Jabba here. Oh my goodness, that sound, dude! I need to mute. I need to mute my tab.
All right. So it's like Cubic's not far behind Danny and Jabu, and Gorfo is just coming to return a score. Paints looks like it's just done with a diving game.
Yep.
RTA is not working.
I just need to unpause and refresh.
I'll maybe I'll refresh and see.
Yeah. So I suppose I should introduce these runners as well. These are also very, very well respected runners for Glitchless and just in general. Gortho, Cubit, Paintskate. I believe all of these people actually are pretty high level Glitchless AMQ runners. So they're all very familiar with. They're all very familiar with it.
RTA is like absolute legend of this game in general. But Glitchless specifically, he's always been one of the best Glitchless runners.
Yeah.
Every Glitchless category, even 100%, which people don't like.
Yeah, RTA is second place AMQ, third place 80%, and second place 100%.
Yeah.
And he has held multiple world records at a time in different categories. He is a very good player.
Yeah. I always remember RTA for, like, when I was still new to this game, the records for Glitchless was Danny had a mid 343, and that was like, oh my god, that's a pretty good run, right? And then RTA came back to Glitchless and got a 342, and we're like, oh my god, 342 is insane. And then, like, 2 days later, he got a 341. We're like, oh god, we all suck. And suddenly, it was like, oh, okay, no, this category has a lot of more potential left.
Yeah.
And within like a year, we got down to like 339, I think, in a year.
And now the category is down to 335, so
yeah,
even one that is so seemingly restricted, there's still a lot of improvement to be made.
Yep. I still can't load up RTA streams. It's not working for me for some reason.
It's working for me, so I can.
Okay, no, I'm fine. I changed the source quality for some reason.
Oh, okay.
But we're good though. The one in Java is just a sea of red, and it's just.
Yeah. I've noticed. It doesn't look like RTA has his own FQ splits. He's just comparing to his his PB.
Yeah. He's currently 18 minutes ahead.
Yeah, it's with no PB.
These rooms with these like seeing tentacles, surprisingly annoying. The way to optimize them is you want to try to stay within their range and just keep firing it. The first one with the map room, you can skip the map chest spawn entirely, which is quite handy if you can get to the door after you kill the tentacle before the cutscene starts. And this like last room here with these berries is a bit of a pain because you want to try to group them up and then stun them to get them all in one go. You can get it to the point where they're like you can get them all within one stab, but it's very precise and very difficult because they move in a sort of semi-random pattern. And then Big Octo is a pretty straightforward boss. You just take a hit and then he'll turn around and you can hit him. There's like different ways you can handle Big Octo. You can like back up behind him like during the cutscene, like RTA has done here. You can also just run into him and let him run past you. You can get him to turn around. There's a couple of different ways you can do it, but it can be if you don't kill him right at the start, it's one of those fights where it can just escalate out of control very quickly, and you're there for like a minute straight.
Sorry, I just realized that Gortho's stream says world record is 33 minutes 46 seconds by $2 gargoyle.
I
don't know what.
That might be. She may have used facing multiple keys as a base. What the hell?
Yeah. Shout out 37 word tempo keys. Best category.
Like I said though, RTA's having issues with Big Octo here because he didn't kill him like right at the start, so he had to chase him around and he teleported, didn't know he could do. So I learned something new today about this boss.
I also like Paint's stream where her split says world record is 335 or something.
Or something.
That's also pretty good.
Like no, it's like this.
Yeah,
oh,
it's around there.
Yes, you see Cubex in this room. Yeah. The intended way to do this normally is to climb up these vines and then fire the boomerang around this web. But you can't just like shoot from here and it'll go up and around. But it can be a little bit finicky. The position is not like that precise, but the position and the angle have to be kind of correct, and that should work.
Yo, guard. Yeah, we just brought you up. We summoned him.
And then going into it now is Baronade, which is... Oh my god, they're actually tied. Baronade is, actually one of the harder fights to kind of learn in this game, if you're new to this game, because it's quite... There's a lot going on. You have to try to, obviously, first cut these tentacles. And then you have to time these boomerang throws and these nuts just right to kill these big berries. If you go too early, then they won't be out of the body, and you have to wait around for Baronade to come up on the ground. If you do too late, they start spinning around, and you can't take them out. That's the last child dungeon. Going to out section very soon.
Yeah, RTA did make up a lot of time here. So RTA is actually ahead now at the end of Jabu.
Yeah, I think unless Danny had a major screw up, I think he should still be in the lead. RTA shouldn't be that far behind.
Yeah, unless we have there could be some other runners in this race that are like way ahead that we're just not aware of yet.
Yeah.
So we have to switch and see.
Yeah, we'll switch up about 20 minutes or so and see what's going on elsewhere.
Yeah. But
For the time being,
yeah, so
they save water out of Zora's domain to get back to Link's house. I don't be mentioned, but when you save and quit in this game, as Child Link, you'll go back to Link's house, and as Adult Link, you'll go back to Temple of Time. It's an easy, just a fast way of getting around.
yeah, unless of course you're in a dungeon, in which case
Yes.
you'll entrance of the dungeon.
Yeah. As a little fun fact, about 2015 time, Save Warpin used to be Zora's Fountain, go through Zora's Domain, go Lake Hylia, and take you out to Hyrule Castle.
I remember hearing people talk about it. I want to say that was because of like we were basing our rules off the Japanese community, and they had a rule against that, and I'm not sure.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure how true that is, but that's just what I've heard. And of course, since we beat all the child dungeons, we will be going adult very shortly. You know, just getting Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
I will say that Ocarina of Time, the dive to get the OT can be a little finicky sometimes. I think there's some like weird. I forget what it is exactly, but there's some like optimization there.
Yeah,
that
so
you can miss.
if you like in the right position, you can just mash the A button instead of holding it to dive, and you should pick it up. But it's also like if you tap it at the right time, I guess like there's like a 1 frame window where you tap it as is in a dive animation, you'll pick it up earlier, which you can go for. But if you miss it, then you're like a bit of a dumbass. You have to dive normally.
Yeah.
So I think most people tend just to dive for it and take the half-second time loss on it instead. It's kind of annoying. This guy's finally getting the Hylian shields. You could buy this earlier before going to DC if you want to be safe, but it's faster to get it now because optimally you don't go into daytime market earlier because it's slower. There's NPCs everywhere that block your path and it lags more. Cheeky inverted cam from RTA.
I don't know if we actually. I saw someone do inverted cam earlier. I don't know if we actually brought it up, but it generally isn't that useful. But there are some instances in which it's very nice to be able to like see behind you. I was gonna say something else. My mind is blanking right now. But
yeah, inverted cam's a fun little trick.
Yeah.
It's basically useless in this category.
yeah,
Doesn't
it tends to be
some
done.
sort of purpose, but in English categories it can be useful because some setups benefit from having inverted cam. Like certain clips, you can see bomb timers and things like that.
It tends to be more for style in glitchless categories, you know.
Yeah.
Just doing it if you want.
Yeah, just for funsies. Later, getting hookshot, getting magic, getting bolero, getting Thrall's Wind, and then Iron Boots and Serenade Water. And once you got all those items, you can start dungeon rushing basically.
And you know, what's the point of speedrunning if you don't look cool while you do it? So true, Nally. Exactly. Looks like Dortho is 33. Yeah, it's more just about consistency is the key thing.
Yeah, and the category like Glitchless, unless you're going for like world record, then you really just value just consistency in this character and anything else. It's about making sure, is it going to work every single time?
We should probably talk about Dampe Race a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah, you see Dampe Race, I believe the best time you can get is 46 seconds, but that is that's very tight, that's very difficult. You want to space out your rules really well, and you want to make sure to cut corners, and if you see there, RTA just did it, and Qubits. You can pop up at the corner there if you walk into it, and then you can immediately jump slash, and so that saves you like a second or two over just climbing the ledge normally. So that's a little optimization that we do. Qubits got 49 seconds. Did you see what RTA's time was?
I did not, but I think he hit by a flame, so it should be about 48, 49.
Okay, yeah.
Normally, if you get hit by a flame, it usually costs about 2 seconds.
And sometimes you can get trolled by Dampe and just get hit 1, 2, 3 times.
Yeah, if you're really unlucky, he'll throw a flame at you at a door transition, and you'll get crushed by the door because you get knocked back into the void zone as the door's shut in, and then that voids you out completely and start the race in the beginning. It sucks, and it's just the worst equip in the game. Because so like I haven't talked about it that much, but like part of the optimization of Glitchless and Ocarina of Time in general is how you maneuver through the menus and how you do your equips and that kind of stuff. And because you in this game, whenever you save warp and load the game up for the first time, your screen is automatically on the map, and then you want to go to the inventory, which is on the left side. So you have to scroll over, and then because of how your inventory is laid out, it's hard to get the cursor to move where it wants. So the hook shot equip is quite annoying. You have to go all the way to the left and then up around to the right again. So it's a really annoying equip to do. But you can save and lose a ton of time on equips in this game.
Yeah.
By just like not wasting time and like thinking about what you're doing, just knowing instinctively like, yeah, I'm gonna do this and then that and then that, and then that's it, done.
Yeah, there's a very minor jump here that RTA and Qubits did, where just if you jump off to the side there, you can not have to bomb the rock. It's a very minor time save.
That ledge. That ledge sucks. It's called the dumb ledge. We refer to it as the dumb ledge. Because sometimes you'll try and jump and Link just won't. And most of the time, like I swear, like 8% of the time, he just won't jump. So you have to, people come up with sit-ups to try to make sure you always get a jump off.
There's a very similar ledge that we will see later at the very start of Forest Temple, getting the first small key there.
That was claimed many a soul.
Yeah. It's very infamous. People have a tendency to fall down there by accident. Because it just doesn't want to give you the jump.
Here we'll pick up magic. Magic is absolutely 100% required for this game. You cannot beat the game without it. You need magic to shoot light arrows and other things, like using Din's Fire. Mostly we're using it to use Thrall's Window, which is a very good item. And here RTA is going to be doing a Goron Tunic Skip, which is very handy because he just got magic, which means he now back to full health. So now he's going to take damage here and do a damage boost.
Yep. Yeah, so this is
like that.
This is a little different from like some of the other damage boosts you may see, where you take damage midair to gain extra distance. What happens there is Link always has the same jump arc. Like he jumps at the same speed every time, but the first frame of his jump, you can carry the momentum into the first frame of his jump, to have better spacing. So if you get hit by a bomb, which is minus 15 velocity compared to a typical walk, which is 6 as adult, you will go much further in that first frame, and then the spacing for that works out well enough that you can just grab the ledge there. There is a way to do it without that damage boost if you do like a side roll and then grab the rock.
Because damage boosts were banned in AMQ for a while, we had to find a non-damage boost strat for that, when ended up being something called a side roll jump, where you basically, while targeting, you like roll at like an angle, either left or right, and then you can get like a curved jump from that and grab onto a ledge. So we used to use that, and that's still saved a lot of time, but this damage boost saves even more time because it's much faster setup and much easier to execute as well.
Yeah, once you grab the ledge, you know, because the rock is pushing you, you kind of have to. Link kind of does his animation of like getting pushed off the ledge a couple times, and then you're able to grab it, climb up.
Yeah, you have to like shift over a bunch. Now we're going to like the ice cavern section on this. First of all, we make a pit stop before going to ice cavern to get the best item in the game, Thrall's Wind. Thrall's Wind, I need to kind of explain this a little bit. Thrall's Wind is a spell in this game, and you use it once, and it sets a point that you can then use later to teleport back to. And we use it a lot in this category to make dungeon progression way faster, because you can use it to return back to entrances and places in the dungeon a lot faster to continue from there from. And you also see in Forest Temple, we use it to great effect to bypass having to get a key and do dungeon a little bit out of order.
And I will say, Glitchless Ice Cavern is very cool if done optimally. So hopefully we'll be able to see some of that movement here from one of these runners. Because, you know, typically, I'll wait until we get there. You know, don't want to spoil anything just yet.
Yeah, I will say Ice Cavern is one of the trickiest areas in this game in general. There's so many things that can go wrong. If one small thing can just cascade into a complete nightmare. Because you get all these ice keys, you get these freezers, you can get chain frozen by them, things like that. You can lose a lot of health and maybe die. You can void out in certain areas and have to start a dungeon. It sucks. Even
RTA didn't kill that freezer there.
As you saw Cubex there, you can do one great spin to kill all of them, just quite a bit faster. Not a precise position, but it can be a little tricky to find if you're like at like an angle or something like that, because you can have to use like Link's like feet as like a cube. If you're like not straight on, you can be tricky to find where you're supposed to stand.
Yeah, what would you say is the trickiest part of this run? Because I'm thinking
the hardest part is, for me personally, a place where you can easily lose most time is Forest Temple. I think that is the hardest dungeon in this run.
That makes sense.
I'm even that close. I think.
Yeah, there's a lot.
It's incredibly long, incredibly technical. You have the Poe fights, which you can lose a lot of time on, and loads of little like navi text boxes you have to try and dodge, and you have to aim really well to get your bow shots off. And the boss of the dungeon, there is a quick kill strat, which if you don't get, you lose a lot of time. It's quite a difficult one.
I believe
for me, definitely.
I believe I have asked Gortha this question. She also said Forest, although I have gotten different answers from a couple other Glitchless runners. But
I do think it depends on what kind of skill level you are, and it sounds a bit like. That may sound a bit elitist, but I think it's true. Where like, if you're new to this category and this game in general, I think most people will struggle with things like Trials, Ice Cavern, or Shadow Temple, or maybe even Water. But I think for an experienced runner, I think Forest is the place where you're going to lose the most time. So it could be anywhere.
You see here from RTA, this is what I was talking about earlier. Oh, didn't get it. Normally we push the block for this puzzle in Ice Cavern. But you can actually completely skip that without using glitches or ground jump if you get some very well-placed jumps here, because while your like actual velocity is going forward, like as you're walking forward. Oh, getting trolled by
something about Ice Cavern. One thing goes wrong, it can escalate because these keys start pushing you around and freezing you and knocking you off. Also, even though RTA is playing on Virtual Console, which is the 1.2 version of the game, you have the 1.0 alcove cameras because that's what Faster Quest is based off of. And it caught him off guard, and it caught me off guard as well, because I forgot that's what happened in this.
Yeah. Ship also has those, and it
Yeah, I
weirds
hate
me
it.
out.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Hate it. So Nally and I, now using chat, we have the AMQ co-op world record on Switch, and
Humble brag.
I do, yeah, humble brag. I do Ice Cavern because in my part run I do Ice Cavern, and every time I forget that those cameras are there, and it messes me up something fierce. It really does.
Yeah. That was a fairly clean Ice Cavern from Qubits and RTA. No.
Yeah, they both had a
Yeah.
few sections here and there, but pretty good overall. It's hard to get a really perfect Ice Cavern. It's one of the hardest dungeons to do perfectly.
For
There's just so
anyone,
much that can go on. They're wrong.
yeah, for anyone interested in Glitchless, I would highly recommend watching the Ice Cavern Glitchless IL world record. That is like one of my,
It's so sick.
yeah, IOs aren't super popular in this game, but that is like one of my favorite. That's like probably my favorite IL run, just because it's
Yeah.
so it's so clean.
There's a period of
For
time where ILs were really cool when we allowed practice ROM and save states to get just to set them up. People started doing them again, and then after about a month or two, and people gave up again. But for a period of time, I had several IL world records because they were just unoptimized, and I just took them for free.
I did actually have an IO world record, but that was because it was the only world record that had just a way faster route.
Yeah, I literally had that. I had like things like GTG restricted world record, which is just you walk in and we're shot to the Ice Terror's chest.
Yeah.
No one had done it, so I just did it.
Yeah. Mine was Water Temple restricted world record, but that is held by CD actually.
Hey,
Me and CD, I believe, are the only people who have run that. I wish more people ran IOs, but I'm not gonna get super off topic here because we are entering Fire now, which Qubits and RTA, and well, everyone on this on the restream currently is skipping Tunic.
Yeah, so a big part of this dungeon, it used to be that you wanted to lose health in Fire Temple because you had Goron Tunic, so you know about heat timers, and you could just have a death warp at the end of the dungeon. Now it's the opposite. You want to maintain high health at all times. Because how this game calculates timers, like heat and drown timers, is based off your current health. So each full heart is worth 8 seconds. So you want to have as much time as possible. This goes for this section here. Also goes for the boss fight later on. The Baja boss fight also has a heat timer going on. So, but it's this section in particular is the trickiest. If you come out Ice Cavern, because you can lose a lot of health in Ice Cavern and not get any heart drops or anything like that, and be on like 4 hearts here, and it can be really tricky to get through.
Yeah. To be more precise, I'm sure OT runners have heard this explanation a million times, but the game tracks health the game actually tracks health in increments of 16 per heart, and every 2/16, so 1/8, gives you 1 second on the timer, and there is a 1/16 health which actually gives you no timer, because it doesn't. It's before the 2/16 mark that gives you 1 second on it, and I think we usually just call that glitched health, and I don't believe that is allowed in Glitchless.
To be fair, 1/16 I don't think is especially banned in Glitchless. It's just not useful for anything.
Yeah, that might also be the case.
The main problem is just not useful, really. And also, like, glitched health is something kind of different. It's when your health displays, like, the health has been displayed as different than the time.
Oh, yeah.
Or the health you actually have. So it could display 3/4 health, and you have half a heart instead. Because how the game calculates that stuff, can be a bit different.
Yeah, that was my mistake, but yeah, people just call it like 1/16.
Yeah, I think we've already discussed 1/16 health for Glitchless. It's probably not useful.
Yeah, well, it looks like RTA is failing it right now, but Qubits just got it. There is a very neat jump here, where you can jump to grab the top of that block to skip having to push it down and then go on the grate or whatever. but it's pretty tricky because there's so little space to work with, and so the fast strat for it is to actually shield drop a bomb and then like move away and run into it, because bombs displace Link, and so he can like you can start holding the angle to jump towards the block earlier while the bomb is pushing you towards the ledge, and so you get a jump much easier like that than you would if you like you use C up and try to align it. But it can still be quite tricky to get
Yeah,
if you don't walk into the bomb the right way.
It can be a bit awkward of a jump to do because you have to like curve around it at a certain time. If you don't get that right, you can just walk back onto the ledge, and then the bomb goes off and blows up the switch, which activates the cutscene, and you have to wait around for it to end. It can be a bit of a pain. This little section that I remember right now, this little maze section, it can be quite tricky. You have to have very good movement around the maze to avoid how the boulder cycles line up just right, so you don't get hit by them. If you are a little bit off, you can get hit by one boulder, and then that leads to another boulder, and so on and so forth. And Cubex here is going to do something called a cutscene dive, where he wants to get this key into the bottom of this little, the bottom of this room here, but also wants to get back up to this room, like afterwards, having to climb all this. So he uses Thrall's Wind as the bomb blows up, which sends him plummeting down here. Skips having to do this little drop here, and then can get the key and then Thrall's Wind back up. He's on one bomb, which is really bad. I just noticed his bomb count was... I don't know how his bomb count is that bad. I guess he just didn't get any drops in Ice Cavern.
And you can cutscene dive off of pretty much any ledge, but Glitchless bans cutscene diving through water, which is
where cutscene is most useful, basically.
Yeah. So there's not really a lot of cases in which you would ever want to do it, but you can. Like, obviously, since you're casting FW anyways, it saves time to fall down at the same time. But,
And here in this little fire maze here, you can bypass these firewalls with well-timed rolls and backwalks and stuff, and then you can get the switch shot fast and to go all around the little maze section.
Yeah, actually, to bring up IOs again, Fire Temple Glitchless IO is another one that's really cool, because Glitchless IOs follow any % rules, so you're able to have hover boots and fire,
oh, yes,
and you can yeah, you can actually do a Glitchless Fire Temple boss key skip. It's very sick.
Yeah, right, I forgot that was a thing. That's so cool, though. Okay, this is Flare Dancer. It's a mini-boss in the dungeon. A weird little property about Flare Dancer is that it actually takes less damage from anything that isn't the Master Sword. So, Giant's Knife, Big Bronze Sword, Deku Sticks, Hammer. It takes a lot less damage, so you want to use the Master Sword at all times instead of, like, any other weapon.
Yeah,
and it was found that you can... if you pay attention to what the Flare Dancer, like, looks, and he flies back in, then it'll pinpoint where he's going to pop out next, so you can prepare for it. I don't know the specifics of it exactly, but you have to like pay attention to which way it's facing, and then that will determine where it's going to go next. It's a little detail that we just didn't realize for like 30 years ago, whatever. That was also a thing.
It was I've heard it explained away as like the Flare Dancer having Ganon's damage table, but I don't think that's actually true. I could be wrong, because like Ganon also
Ganon takes damage from sticks correctly as well. It's just hammer and sword, a big round sword and stuff.
Yeah, well, I think it's everything except Master Sword, but like Stick Jump Slash is quite literally Master Sword Jump Slash. Like it's the same damage flag. I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this room can be a little scary, you know, because you're teetering. You're right next to the edge there, and it's a very long fall down. But even if that happened, I believe you could just do FW and warp back up. And,
you can, yeah.
Usually it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks and you gotta lose time, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah. I mean, in the sense that it's not like a huge thing to worry about, because
No.
it's not like a difficult room to navigate. It's
Yeah.
just a little monka.
Luckily, at this point in the run, you'll be pretty liberal with magic. There's a certain point in Forest Temple you have to get to full magic, and if you don't get the full magic, you will lose time. Either go your way to get more magic, or you can have to skip using the Thrall's Wind at some point. Because you got there's a point in Forest Temple where once you get the full magic, you have enough to use Thrall's Wind exactly 4 times before you can refill again. So it can be a little bit tricky if you're not keeping track of that properly. That would run really well for Cubex. This room can be annoying because you got to try and corral these enemies into like one area and try and quick spin them down. If you
I just noticed that
can be shit to deal with.
Yeah, Cubits has been in the lead again.
Yeah, he took over.
Yeah, there's a second Flare Dancer fight. I believe everything we said about the first Flare Dancer fight applies to this as well.
Yeah, it applies here, except that you have hammer, so you can use the hammer shockwaves to knock it out rather than waiting for it to be shotable, which just saves a bit of time.
Yeah, very nice.
You can hammer really early, by the way. Like as
soon as got hit by the fire.
Nice. Did he wait for the? He want bombs. He might want bombs. His bomb count's pretty low.
Yeah, this is a.
It's a. It's a 10 chest, I believe.
Yeah, I was trying to remember if it was 10 or 20.
Yeah.
The bomb chest I always remember is the 20 bomb chest in DMC because that's like so good, dude. I love that's like a top 1 grotto in the game. I'm so serious.
It's the best one. Yeah, it's the best one. A cool thing you can do with Power Crouch Stab is like it takes on the damage property of the last weapon you use, Swan. So if you have Hammer as your last damage property, you can stab the switch and it will activate.
Yeah, it is kind of like it's a bug, but it's like there's no way to avoid it because we just have to ban crouch stabs.
So Cubix had to go around there to avoid taking damage, because otherwise he needs to make sure his timer's at the highest possible, because he's at 4 3/4, which is enough health.
Yeah,
you need a minimum of 4 1/4 health to have enough time in this fight.
There's also a neat thing to mention about that jump up to the fire boss door. In a typical casual playthrough, you would hammer a pillar, and then it drops down, and then you just jump onto the pillar and jump straight ahead from the door to the boss door. But it loses a bit of time to do that, so instead, you can go off to the ledge to the side and get snugly in the corner and just roll jump from it, and that gives you. It gives you good spacing for it, but there's also something called remote wall interactions, where basically, if you're touching another wall as you're jumping to a ledge, the range in which you're able to like grab that ledge is extended. I forget why exactly that is, but it's.
I have no idea.
That's the gist of it. That's the idea.
I do want to talk about. Oh my god, Cubix is gonna.
Yeah.
Okay,
I was gonna say
he's gonna have time. So yeah, so the Volve fight very quickly. The Volve fight, you saw him using bombs there and Volve's little lava holes. Volve has 2 separate hitboxes in this fight. One that flies around, the one that's in the ground. When the one's not flying around isn't active, it sits in it has a hitbox underneath the last hole it flew into. So you can do that to start the first hole to keep doing damage with bombs and explosives. And Cubix has to take advantage of something here to delay having to like. Oh my god, he walked it.
No.
So you could have saved that by walking to the edge of the warp and see up in the Volve head, and it will stop the timer. But it's not a big deal. The boss is dead. You just have to go back into the room.
Yeah, rip.
A little bit annoying. What was I saying? Yeah. So that fight is tricky because you're the timer is based on your health, like I said, and so you need to make sure your health is managed correctly. You need at least 4 1/4 hearts to survive that minimum. And even
Volve is probably the hardest in the game. The only other like boss that's super tricky like that is Rova, because you can lose a lot to Twin Rova depending on her cycles. But seems like they did Volve decently, and Gortha is also going to be starting it, which this looks like a good time to switch again because
Yeah,
it
I
is
just about to
108.
pin Tresco to.
Yeah,
We can switch up here for the next dungeon and see where our players are at.
yeah, you can do that.
Very quickly, RTA is going to do a little jump here to the SFM maze.
Yeah, this is
Maybe.
another one of those
Maybe not.
cool glitchless jumps to like sort of replace where you would usually do a ground jump here. This one is probably, this might be like the trickiest one in the game without a setup,
There we go.
just because there's so little space there. Like, it's a very tight one. There is a consistent setup for that, but RTA missed it, but he saved it.
Yeah, there's
just
also
by
a
going
jump
to
straight you can do. Okay, we're switching up things up, see where players are.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
Flea's not far-
have switched
Sora
up the
not
game.
far behind. They're also in SFM.
Oh yeah, Flea's already like up here. That is very nice, and Sora.
Yeah.
I actually, Sora has been doing AMD. Yeah, so Sora does actually have. I believe he has a pretty good shot to win this, considering some of the other very high level glitchless runners that are here, like Danny and Gortho, have been out of the game for a little while, or have been out of AMQ specifically for a little while.
Yeah.
So,
And you look at the player list, you see like Danny, you see RTA, you see Cal, and you think they'll probably have better chance of winning, but it depends on who's. They're also kind of rusty, they don't run the category as much anymore. Also, I just noticed Flea has the Goron Tunic, so they managing to like keep really good pace while also getting Goron Tunic.
oh, he does. That is very.
Which goes to show that you don't need to
Yeah, that's
skip
very
it
interesting.
to have a good time there. And here we're going to see one of my favorite parts of Glitchless is the way we route Forest Temple. So normally you're supposed to go and get the next key from the two Stalfos outside the room, but instead we're going to do this puzzle first, and then do a little backtracking to get some keys later. So you're supposed to need 4 keys to progress in here. We can bypass. Well, no, I'm thinking it's wrong around there. You can't bypass them, but we can get them in a different order than you're supposed to get them, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And this puzzle is unfortunately part of. There's no way to skip this really. Luckily on faster quest, the block pushing is a lot faster.
Yeah. I suppose we should talk a little bit about the runners. Sora and Flea is new, aren't they? I'm not super familiar with them.
Neither am I. I saw them earlier. I wanted to look at the rules to refresh myself with them. I saw they literally like a day ago had gotten a 344, which is a pretty good time.
Yeah, I just looked in the Speedrun Discord, and they only have like 18 messages in there, but it seems like they are a very solid player.
Yep, and clearly they're doing pretty well, because even with getting Goron Tunic, they're managing to keep pace with. I will say, getting Goron Tunic, not that slow on faster quests, because the text boxes from the Goron are a lot faster, so it's not as big a deal.
Yeah, Sora is also.
Here you see Flea saying, yeah, no problem saying. Here you see in Flea for CFW. That's good. We're going to come back here later. The puzzle's now complete, and you can just recoil down to this alcove to basically get to this little upper courtyard area early, which bypasses having to normally to access this later on after getting the boss key, but you can get in now, which means you can get this key or having to backtrack to it later.
There is
a magic here as well.
There is a little thing with that is probably good to mention. Glitchless AMQ allows momentary anti-gravity. Anti-gravity is just touching a ceiling, because touching a ceiling resets your Y velocity, and that includes negative Y velocity. So if you touch a ceiling as you're coming down from above it, you can actually, you can go from -4, 5, 6, however negative your Y velocity is, back to 0. And so that effectively gives you more distance.
Yeah, it's pretty handy. We saw it earlier when Dan did B1 skip in Decatry. That also uses momentary anti-gravity. There is a variant of that called extended anti-gravity, which basically is the same thing, but it goes on for like several seconds rather than like 1 frame. Which you can use to bypass load zones and things like that, but obviously that's banned in Glitchless, you're not allowed to do
Well,
that.
I will say, extended anti-gravity is, as far as I'm aware, just the same mechanic, but, you know, doing it over multiple frames. It's just one of those things that's like, it's so... Like, that just feels like way too much, you know, so it's not...
Yeah, a lot
We don't allow
a lot of this category comes down to like a sniff test, where it's like, you know, like is this really fine? Is this it seems kind of stinky. So you just have to like people like I would like to say like glitchless like rule sets are all over the place, but a lot of it is just vibes based. Like everything we allow or don't allow is generally community voted on. We just kind of get a consensus and say, what do you guys think about this? And then if it's like, nah, not feeling it, then it's not allowed.
Yeah.
Um, but we did do rule discussions like 5 years ago, which basically changed a lot of this, allowed more stuff back into the category, which makes it a bit faster. But luckily, with these like goal-based restrictions in place, you can sort of preserve the core identity of the category without having to constantly debate whether something's allowed or not.
Yeah, and of course, as with many spearrun communities, there has been many arguments made, discussions surrounding rules. You know, people, you know, accuse certain ways of thinking of being arbitrary or of not being based on whatever. But, you know, at the end of the day, basically all of this is arbitrary to some degree. It's just what we feel would be best for a given category.
So here, that key we didn't get earlier in Forest Temple, we're going to get now by plunging on these Southhalls from above. This room is connected to the room above, which is where the bow is. And we can kill these guys, and then Thrall's Wind back up to that room. And this, aside from looking really cool, saves time, because it means we don't have to get this key earlier and then backtrack, and just get it now. And it helps it looks really sick.
Yeah, it does look really cool. I like
Now
this FW.
Get the key and then FW back up. Try and get the nuts here. Yeah.
For,
and
as was mentioned before, Forest Temple is quite difficult and is a very technical spot of the run. So there's a lot of stuff that we have been going over, but I did want to like introduce the runners a bit, just because we have been mentioning them like every time we switch. Sora is a very good glitchless AMQ runner. He's been doing it for a few years, I believe. I'm not sure how long exactly, but like,
I think, yeah.
Yeah. Mentioned Flea. I'm not sure about Flea. I'm not really familiar with him. Consultant. I don't know if he's done a glitchless run before, but he
definitely has. He sort of like came to the community not long after I did, and we started doing glitchless races, and he joined a few of them early back in the day. But he's become someone mostly known for doing glitchless, not for doing bingo, more anything else, and like all dungeons, I believe, and stuff like that.
Shout out to Bingo. Shout out to Bingo.
And then Chuckles is a fairly new runner in the last few years or so. He's been doing glitchless for a bit as well. Has a decent time, I think, about 350 or so, I think.
For those in the audience who watch Rando, though, you may very well be familiar with Chuckles, because as I understand, he is pretty big in that scene as both racer and commentator. No.
So, very quickly, these pro fights can be quite tricky. There's a couple of different ways you can approach these fights. There's a kind of a safe method like Fleet did, where you use a bow, push him in the corner, and then use nuts to like transition the phases. But you want to be quick about it. You can kill them without having to use nuts or a bow, and just use crouch stabs, but it is very tricky. This is another point where you can lose time in Forest Temple, which is why Forest Temple is the hardest dungeon and at a high level for this category, because if you're going for every fast strat imaginable, you will inevitably lose time on those poses, because you're going to miss one of them eventually, and you will lose time because of that. And there's 4 of them, and 3 do you fight like that. 1 isn't, and Meg will talk about later when we get there. She has a whole different kind of issues involved. But you also see more uses of Thrall's Wind here, using FW after getting the boss key to go back to the bow room, and that skips having to go back up and like twist the hallway back again and then go back for that way. Just saves a lot of backtracking, a lot of repeated movement and puzzles. And then onto the blue po.
Yeah, like I said earlier, Forest Temple has a lot of stuff to explain, which is why I was trying to cram the runner
Yeah.
introduction there.
Yeah, this dungeon is it's so heavy with like just different strats and random decisions and all this kind of stuff. It's such a difficult dungeon, just jam packed with stuff. Water Temple's kind of the same as well, and Shadow Temple to some degree. They're both pretty fast paced and have a lot going on all at once. It's kind of hard to like cram in different info here and there wherever you can.
That's clean.
I asked you earlier about what you find to be the hardest dungeon, because I'm not really an AMQ runner. I've participated in one race, but I don't really run AMQ. What is your favorite part of the run, would you say?
I love trials in AMQ. I think trials are so
The
much fun.
trials?
Yeah,
Okay.
I love just how fast paced they are, and when you can nail those equips and you nail the movement and everything correctly, it feels so good. I think that, or probably Shadow Temple as well. Shadow Temple's also a dungeon where you nail it, it feels so good to get. But I love basically every like adult dungeon in this. Spirit maybe not so much, that's because Rover's a pain in the ass, but I love basically. But again, like I'm sort of biased that I just love this category in general.
Yeah.
We Soren Flea there did a pretty cool room with you have to shoot an arrow for a torch to unfreeze an ice witch, and that can be quite tricky to get quickly because you have to very little time to kind of snap to it, especially on N60. Actually on VC normally because it's a bit higher up. On 1.0 it's a bit lower down, so it's easy to hit. And then this room with the puzzle blocks. The solution for this puzzle is always the same the first time you enter the room, and will be random if you fail it or re-enter the room at a later date. And we've spent a lot of time finding out what the fastest way of doing this is, and I never remember it these days because I haven't run AMQ in a long time.
Yeah.
But there's one very good solution, and using that you can guide this Poe over here like that. So it's sort of got a nice fast Poe strat there, where you just like stun lock them with crouch tab and using deck of nuts or anything.
Yeah, nuts are so good for the post. Nuts and FW are two of those things that I feel are very underrated within a casual context, but become hugely useful when you're trying to be fast.
Yeah, nuts and like, when you start running this game, you realize how, especially in Glitchless, you realize FW and deck of nuts are the best items in the game. it's kind of real. So this is Meg. This is Poe fight. The one that spins is the one you want to shoot. But it was found that you can actually, if you pay attention, then the real one will be visible for about 2 frames before the others become visible. So if you can spot that, you can actually snap to it and shoot it, like Flea just did there. You can snap to it and shoot it before it spins, and that saves about 1.5 seconds or so each time.
Yeah, I will say
it's pretty cool strat.
Yeah, not to sound like a broken record, but this is a very impressive pace for Flea, especially since he got quarantined.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking at his Speedrun.com profile right now, and he has done quite a few runs going back a year. So he's definitely a fairly experienced runner by this point.
This little basement room's pretty straightforward. You have to push just a few times, take the switches. A lot of optimization you can do, instead of pushing it around 2 more times to get back to the start, is to just reload. You can just go right the elevator back up and back down again to reload the room, and it's slightly faster. Also, these switches are a bit of a pain. These switches are like raised up a little bit, so you can just like get stuck on them or not hit them properly. You have to really walk into them to get them to actually like taking the trigger.
Yeah. I'm glad you know some of the intricacies of Forest, because I'm like pretty familiar with Glitchless, but I could not answer anything about like the Poe fights or this.
Speaking of intricacies in Forest, here's Phantom Ganon, which is a fairly difficult boss fight to do fast. So this first phase is pretty straightforward. You're just going to shoot the paint in. The real one is the one that makes noise and is a bit brighter than the other one. The real tricky part comes in the second phase when it pops out the painting, because there is a fast kill strat you can do. I don't know if any of these guys are going to go for it, but it is very, very cool. Also quite difficult to pull off, because you have a few frames window to like try to stun lock Phantom Ganon with an arrow shot into a sword slash, and it can be quite tricky to do. So I don't know if they're even going to go for it, but if they do, it'd be really cool. If not, then the alternate strat is to go for a 2-cycle. Okay, Sora's going for it.
Ayo.
Nope.
Oh.
Oh, sick!
Oh, let's go.
Let's go!
Dude.
That was sick. I Flea's also going for it as well.
I saw his face. I saw his webcam there. He looks like he felt pretty good about that.
Yeah, this is one of those strats where if you nail this, it just feels so good. I love this quick kill strat. It's my favorite like boss strats in the game. It is cool. It is also pretty tricky.
Yeah, it is very satisfying for sure. I want to say I think I've practiced this like once ever, but obviously you know.
Yeah.
Outside of a Glitchless contest, usually do IG.
It takes a bit of practice to get. It used to be one of those things where like, oh, it looks too hard, and now it's like, well, you gotta learn it if you want to go fast. It saves quite a bit of time.
Ocarina hook.
Yeah, and we will be heading to Wara Temple next. So yeah, you want to. It's actually faster to equip Iron Boots and then
warp. Yeah, and then you bring Ocarina and shot anyway, so just doing that. That saves having to like equip them here as well.
And you fall.
Iron Boots is yeah, you also fall faster when you have Iron Boots equipped. Routing out Iron Boots equips in this is one of the main time savers in War Temple. It's just managing when you equip Iron Boots and how you do that kind of stuff, as well as using Thrall's Wind appropriately as well. It also for a reminder that this is a glitch and I hate it. It's allowed in this run. This is Iron Boot swimming. This is a form of state storage, and the fact that this wasn't banned when we were doing discussions is an absolute travesty, and I hate it. Moving on.
It's a uncomfortable topic for you.
I hate it. I don't know how I was allowed in Glitchless. It's absolute bullshit. It is literally a glitch.
I think it was pretty much. I think it was more just that people want to sort of grandfather it in because it was used.
It doesn't save enough time that requires grandfathering in. You can it's crap. It's all thing here actually with Flea's doing. If you swim against that little ledge, you save about 7 frames. Also, then Sora is going to be doing something called a gainer, where he's going to target this wall mid side hop, and that's going to shift his momentum forward towards the wall, so you get onto this ledge. Normally, to get to this ledge, you have to raise the wall level to the 2nd level, and then come back this way and then blow this wall up. But that takes way too long. We don't want to do that, so we do this instead.
Yeah, and I should mention that with the gainer, part of the reason that Sora paused there, besides getting the equipped, I believe he equipped there, is you want to side hop and you want to side hop and release target on the same frame, so that you do an untargeted side hop. Because if you hold target, like if you are holding target as you side hop, you won't be able to target the wall in the air again, because target won't release until you land on the ground. So it is important that you do an untargeted side hop there.
Yeah, and here again, do another equip. More Thrall's Wind usage. And here you can just barely hookshot this target with that angle, and then get up to this floor.
I do like that.
Go all the way around. Yeah. War Temple is one of the coolest dungeons for parkour, because you can do stuff like that.
I think Danny's about to be
sad bypass everything to like raise and lower the water level.
Like he
Normally you have to
back
raise
before
and
you
lower
get the
level a bunch of
second key.
times to like navigate for this dungeon. We raise and lower it twice total. Like once to lower it at the bottom, once to raise it back to top again. And then for War Temple, there are 6 small keys in total. We only need 4 of them though. 2 to get to Longshot, and then 2 to get to the boss key. And the War Temple is actually quite a short dungeon in comparison. Like Forest Temple takes about 25 minutes or so, maybe about 20 minutes or so if you're like good. And War Temple is about maybe 12 minutes long. It's a pretty short dungeon in comparison, because you can skip so much of it by just not having to get so many keys, and having to like raise and lower the water level, and having to combine boots as often.
Yeah,
and this SFW here saves quite a bit of time, because otherwise you have to save warp, and then it puts you in the further position back, and it takes way more time. SFW, and now he's at 0 magic, so which is why it's important to get to full magic in Forest Temple, in that room with the Floor Master.
Yeah, I'm quite a big fan of like parkour and stuff of that nature. Water Temple is a very cool dungeon.
Yeah, even here you see like a little bit of parkour here where you can actually just target on the very edge and then jump slash onto that. Just say something to like raise and lower these statues. Here's a quite tricky one because if you don't do this fast enough, you can get pushed out of bounds by this Tektite. So if you miss this a few times, you have to just kill the Tektite, otherwise you will get knocked out of bounds. It's sucks. And like the hook shovel, so it's faster than using the target, and you can get magic hit. That always happens, and I hate it. The magic jar goes up with the statue. And this is Dark Link. Dark Link's health is it is set to what your max health is, and you can sort of manipulate them here to like move in a certain way, so these little side slashes will hit him. And this is it's technically faster to use nuts here, but that requires him to pause and equip nuts, so it's not worth it. But these little side slashes, combined with getting close to the door as well, just make short work of him.
Yeah, it is a very clean way to do the fight. I was saying, yeah, I'm a big fan of that. Oh, although Flea, yeah, Flea took a second at the start to get it, but he's good now. Okay.
Oh, please!
Cool up in here is there's a no text box here, but if you go to the very edge of this ledge, you can skip it entirely, which is quite nice. And this little rapid area is, if you're trying to get this sculpture and things like that, it can be a bit awkward. Shouts to Tashman, one of my favorite clips in Ocarina of Time history. It's him getting stuck in this room in just 100%.
I don't know if I don't know if I know that one.
It's a fantastic clip. Tashman is a Scottish runner. He hasn't been around a while. I think he's do Glitchless and Bingo, and there's a clip where he's playing he's doing a hundo run, and he gets stuck in this room for like 5 minutes straight, getting stuck into these whirlpools and stuff, while getting increasingly angry and yelling in a Scottish accent. It's hilarious. Look, more parkour here. You can skip over to Iron Boots by just using momentum to sink through the water there to get to this key. That's the last key you need to get to the boss key.
Yeah, I believe we will see a bit of a similar thing when we were heading to the water boss key chest. You know, jumping into the water to.
Hopefully. Please learn it in real time while you don't let go of target.
Oh.
That happens. Because that happens. The camera flips on you.
Alright.
More cheating involved with Iron Boots. Love it.
Yeah, so there's a very neat jump coming up here, where usually you go through this large room that Sora is about to enter, and then you go through a couple more rooms, and it takes so long. It's so slow. You can skip all of that if you do a well-angled jump here. So he's gonna do a setup to get in the right position for it, and just grabs the ledge like that. It can be tricky sometimes. And yep.
No, I was gonna say you can skip the Iron Boots here by using momentum again to sink down far enough to avoid it, but that's not a big deal. It's a quick little unequip. Lucky your cursor is right on Iron Boots because you just unequipped them. So
yeah, that was the jump I was just talking about earlier.
Yeah, it's a really cool one. Skips the entire puzzle. There's a cool thing about War Temple and Glitchless that you skip so much of it because you don't have to do any of these puzzles. You could just use clever jumps and stuff to just bypass so much of the dungeon.
Yeah, for sure.
I love War Temple in this category. And then you get up this little sloped wall here a few different ways.
Yeah, Checkles is Aryan Water Temple now, and Consultant is still on PG. So
yeah,
so Sora is just like blazing through this.
He's just booking, we'll switch things up after War Temple. We'll see how Sora and Flea go with Morph, and then we can switch things up. Morph is a pretty straightforward boss. You just gotta wait for it to pop out, you launch show it to you, get in the corner, and then just one cycle it. Easy boss fight. Yeah, easy as that.
Yeah, that's
unless
gotta
you're
be
ZFG.
like...
Unless you're ZFG.
Unless you're ZFG.
In which case you get killed by a marathon 2 separate times.
Where's that?
Okay, Flea's going for I think I just skip this cutscene because you can instantly hookshot it. That's a pretty cool little time saver.
There's the emote for that.
I fucking heard this boss.
Yeah.
We can bring in some new runners though. Now these guys are done War Temple. We haven't had on.
I would say like
We haven't had on the last 3 players. We haven't had on Chloe, Matthias, Bitch James, and we can have on like maybe Count or something on.
Sounds good. Well, one.
I'll
We already had Count in the first. Have we?
Yeah,
have we gone through
yeah.
all the runners?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, with these 3, and then that'll be back to start.
Close enough. We only just missed the third.
Okay.
The crouch, second crouch stab.
Hello, Minnow. It is sort of like an intended %, yes. AMQ stands for all main quests, and you can see the list of what we consider quests on the Speedrun.com page, but basically, we changed it from a solely restriction-based category to a more goal-based category where you have to do stuff like, you know, get Goron Bracelet before going to DC, get Nocturne before going to Shadow, just so that it more closely mirrors sort of an intended playthrough, you know, where we go through the game normally, but just play it, you know, really fast.
Yeah,
and then of course we have Glitchless %, which is very different.
Yeah, people have tried to like route quote-unquote intended % before, and it is always a complete nightmare because you try to establish like, okay, so what about backwalk? If backwalk being intended, is that allowed? Can we backwalk to go faster?
Yeah, is bat
but
flipping
from
Link's
they've intended us
house?
to do backwalk, so like we shouldn't do that, right? We should be walking everywhere. We shouldn't roll everywhere. We should walk everywhere, right? That's not. And so you get into that kind of pedantic discussion about what's intended. So you throw it out the window and just say, look, just do these things, go faster, and call it a day.
Yeah. The devs put the ladder in front of Link's house for a reason, you know.
Exactly.
Bat flipping from Link's house.
So like, there's no. The idea of intended % is kind of a silly concept as a whole. People have done like meme runs it before, and it's always been like the most boring shit imaginable.
Yeah.
Eli.
So
annoying.
Yeah, in other words, the fastest you can play with Miyamo breathing down your neck. Exactly. You get it.
Alright, I've paired Pinterest, but he seems to be AFK. We'll see what happens when he gets back. In the meantime, though, this little section's kind of a little break from the dungeons. I'm just gonna go get Gorilla Card and cross the wasteland to get Requiem. You're supposed to have Lens of Truth at this point to see the ghost to follow through the wasteland, but we don't need that. It's the same path every time. You just memorize the path and you never get lost.
It can be tricky to learn, like if you're a newer player. I've definitely voided out on Wasteland many a time.
It's a bit tricky, yeah. Luckily, we have a lot of resources nowadays. There's like, we used to have like little like JPEG maps you could look at, but nowadays you just have, if you practice ROM, you can just use Collision Viewer to see where the void zones are.
Yeah,
and it helps you.
I learned through Danny's Lensless Wasteland tutorial.
The one from like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I still do think that's a pretty good tutorial, but yeah, practice ROM is very useful.
These guerrilla fights are pretty straightforward. You can get behind these torches here, and then by shooting hook shot, you manipulate them to kind of jump at you, and then they get stuck between you and the torch. They can't move, so you just crash stab them infinitely. If you crash them away from them, the hitbox still hits them, but they won't try and block the attack, so it saves a bit of time. People have always like pointed this and be like, "Oh, well, the Gerudo like in the torch." And it's like, no, they're just stuck there. It's just, they overlap collision slightly. Like the torches, you literally cannot be inside them. You try to be inside them, you get pushed out instantly. So
yeah, though we do actually have like we call torches and collision similar to that, like from enemies or NPCs or rocks. Squishy collision. We have two different clipping definitions that we use for, you know, judging runs. One's for solid collision, and then squishy collision. The ZAT definition is a lot more complicated, but there is a document for it in the OT Speedrun Discord if you're interested in learning more about the minutia of the rules.
I'll be real, I'm really not interested in a lot of stuff. It goes on my head completely. I'm a complete button monkey when it comes to this game. I was just saying that for and move. Yeah, if you're interested in bring up in there, you can do. This game is very, very complex. And we have very strict on definitions of things and use the right terminology, because otherwise there's too many edge cases involved you have to try and take account for. And the mod team and people involved in that stuff do a really good job in clarifying and defining those kinds of terms and what isn't allowed. Much better than I could ever do, and that's fine with me. I'm going to let them handle it.
Yeah, I personally find like the technical aspect of OT very interesting.
Yeah.
Like glitch hunting and researching things and all that.
It's definitely interesting. It's just obviously it takes. If you're not, my brain isn't really programmed that way, so I don't really think about it that kind of way.
Yeah, it depends on the person.
Yeah, it really does. Right now, Sora's almost done with this Gerudo section. Fun little fact about the Gerudo guard here at the end is that her tunic color will be whatever your tunic is. So if you have a tunic, it'll be green, and then it'll be blue if it's Sora. And if you have like, you can use glitches to get different colored gauntlets, and then also change to those colored gauntlets if you have those equipped instead.
Yeah, doesn't it also follow the color of your bomb if you pull out a bomb?
It might do, yeah. And I'm not sure entirely, but sounds about right. There's a cool thing you can do here with this guard outpost. That if it's okay,
well,
we've gone back a little bit.
Yeah, we'll elaborate later.
Yeah, go back a little bit. Not that far, about 30 seconds behind counters.
Yeah, I will say.
What I was gonna say, so like you can, if you angle the camera away from the gate, then you can climb the ladder and then jump down the ladder when during the cutscene, which saves a little bit of time. If you're on the ladder when the cutscene ends, you will stop at the game, so gotta be a bit careful about that.
There are a few instances in this game, in like various runs, where that is a real issue. I know in like randomizer races, like the DC ladder soft lock, if you're trying to light the eyes up with shoes, is pretty infamous, but it can happen anywhere.
Yeah.
I will say there's probably a minor thing that we should clarify. You see throughout the run, you see runners hookshotting the top right bit of the ladder, and that is to like save a little bit of time because you go a bit into the ledge and you're able to immediately climb up instead of climbing the ladder itself. I believe I think that's technically a clip, but it's just like it's something that's so easy to do accidentally. It's sort of a similar thing to power crouch stab, where it's not really something you can account for very well.
You can't really like.
Yeah.
You can't really ban it because like unless you use it to get out of bounds, which in case is a different story, right? But like if it's doing it to climb a ladder, you can't really avoid things like that sometimes.
Yeah.
We have banned some instances of that happening where you do clip further into a ledge. There's an instance in Forest Temple in 80%. You can a damage boost and get a mega jump up to the balcony early, but that also puts you way in further, and you also clip into the ledge quite far when doing that.
Yeah.
So that's like an edge case where it's like you can't really allow this.
Yeah, I think the distinction is just whether or not it gives you like a sort of like material advantage beyond just saving a few seconds. You know, because with that instance in Glitchless 90% Forest Temple, like that just skips a key straight up.
Yeah, it would save a lot of time. So
yeah, it's a much different case.
Yeah, you see here, but the wasteland count can just quickly get through the wasteland, no problem. No lens needed.
So yeah, Spirit Temple is coming up, which is I think it's interesting that we do Spirit this early because I feel like most people, or at least most casual players, do it after Shadow. I certainly did.
It's contentious, right? Like people will argue both ways, and there's no. The actual answer is that it doesn't matter. I don't think it really matters at all what order you do them in. We do it this way because it's just slightly faster. In terms of like the routing wise, and also in terms of like equips, like end of Shadow Temple equips are better for the start of trials, so therefore, and then you also get the option of getting the heart container from Bongo to refill on health, whereas Twin Rovers, I feel like you can do them in any order you want. It's just slightly faster to do them in this order. It's maybe like 5 seconds or so of time save overall. It really doesn't matter that much. It's just slightly faster. But do make a quick pit stop before going to Child Spirit, and that's get Din's Fire, which is a required item. For one, you need it for one thing exactly, and it's the the boss key in Shadow Temple. You physically cannot get that in Glitchless without Din's Fire, because the only thing that will burn those walls is Din's Fire.
Yeah. Well, don't you also use it for Forest Trial, correct?
Yeah, but you don't need it. You don't. But you could theoretically do that with fire arrows.
Yeah.
The reason we get Din's Fire instead of fire arrows is that fire arrows do not work for the Shadow Temple boss key.
I didn't.
Those don't burn the walls entirely at all.
I didn't know if you meant like hard requirement or just like.
Yeah, just as hard requirement. A Din's Fire, I think either way would be faster to get regardless, because if you don't get Din's, you have to open Shadow Temple with fire arrows and a bow, doing that little like setup to like shield the torches, and that would probably be slower than just getting Din's.
That one's pretty rough.
It's up in the air.
Yeah. In Glitchless 8%, the only thing you need fire for is the Shadow BK, which is very unfortunate, you know, because being able to skip Din's Fire would be super nice. You wouldn't have to get Child Magic, or you wouldn't have to get Magic in Child.
We don't get Magic in Child anyway. I mean, in 8%,
in 8%, yeah.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, you still need that, unfortunately, because of Shadow Temple boss key. And because you do Shadow Temple first thing as adult in that category, you have to get it as child. Because also there's no child too, you're not being Forest Temple, so...
Yeah.
It's one of those things that you really can't get rid of, unfortunately, in Glitchless.
Yeah. Obviously, different category, though. Doesn't apply to... Or it doesn't apply exactly to AMQ.
Oh god, Count doing a little flip there to show off.
Yeah, Count is entering Child Spirit now. Child Spirit is... pretty interesting, in my opinion.
I quite like Child Spirit. I think it's more interesting than Adult Spirit. But I mostly am just a bit of an Adult Spirit hater because I don't like Twin Rover, mostly. But I think Child Spirit is quite interesting. Because you're so limited in what you haven't been Child for a while, so you have to like make do with weird equipment you haven't used in a while. And you have to. There's a lot of cool strats though. Like this bomb here can kill all three of these enemies, and this bomb here can kill these two.
Yeah, I really like that room.
Like these torches and these kind of puzzles. This area's had like a lot of optimization. Even this little bit here, like trying to get the boomerang to go left there, and like turtle in so you don't get hit by the Star Force off the edge.
Oh.
This little thing here where you use Dins and this little right in the center circle here. It works out just right that this spike will not hit you out of the cutscene. You can just hold right and then jump over.
I will say though, depending on how you do that room, like I have definitely seen that spike troll people.
It can, but only if you like waste time getting there. If you get there in like a good enough amount of time, you should never get hit by it. And come up is another really cool room at the end of this. Once he climbs up this wall, coming up, you want to try to use. He's got 2 bombs left. He's going to get more in the box here. You want to try to use 2 bombs. One to hit a switch and one to blow open a wall. And try to overlap the cutscenes so they play at the same time. You know, to like trigger 2 them back to back. So it's a little bit of time. But it can be a bit awkward straight. Try and pull the bomb at just the right time and then throw it just the right time. Using the bomb there to save him to use a boomerang on that. I mean, I quite like that. Again, dealing with waterless for the first time in a while because these guys are a bit of a pain. I don't have a council gonna go for this, but you should do. Yeah. Trying to pull this. Yeah, no.
I guess there are
Oh, not quite. I did, okay.
I'm actually not sure who KLO is. Hello?
I have no idea. I'm being real.
Yeah. I'm looking in the Discord and I don't. The only mention of them I see is in this race. Which is very funny. They seem to be doing okay.
Bad, yeah.
And of course, we met Cal earlier, very first part of this race. Matthias is a pretty new player, I believe. He's been doing, I think it's Classic Hack mainly,
I'm not familiar with
also
them.
Bingo. Yeah. Yeah, he does Classic Hack, and Vidya here is he plays rando for both OOT and MM. He's an MM speedrunner, content creator. He does OOT bingo. He does a bunch of different Zelda
Like
64
Zelda-related
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might know him as the guy who made a video about the blue dog in MM. Coming up actually pretty soon, I just wanted to mention, is that we're coming to the point now where... So, Count picked up a chest of 10 bomb chews here in Spirit Temple, and after... we're using bombs like once more in adult, and then never using bombs ever again. And, because once you're done with Child Spirit, I'm talking about Spirit Temple in general, we no longer use bombs the rest of the run. It's just bomb chews. I guess a really cool little thing about this category. At a certain point, you just stop using bombs entirely.
Yeah, I really like
sacrilege for this for this game.
I really like Iron Knuckle as Child because you just run up and crouch there and the attack completely misses you. It's so
you can't
free.
get hit. It's impossible to get hit. You're just too short. So again, silver gauntlets. Silver gauntlets are required just for one silver block in Spirit Temple. Only thing they're needed for is one silver block in Spirit Temple. Otherwise, you could completely skip them.
Yeah. Why don't they just do triple slash clip, dude? Why don't they just like
imagine?
Why don't they
much
just
faster.
like grab the top of the block with hover boots? Like that's what I would have done. Come on.
All right, now we're done with Child entirely. That's all adult. Before going to Spirit Temple, though, we do need to go get Nocturne. Now we've done Forest, Fire, and Water, we can go get Nocturne Kakariko, which lets access into Shadow Temple. Which you didn't forget. Nice. I wondered if you would forget to go get Nocturne, but
yeah. I was kind of thinking that too. I was like, is he gonna go straight Requiem here or no?
Yeah.
But not a whole lot to say at the moment until we get to Adult Spirit. Vidya's heading in Fortress now, and then Chloe and Matthias are both both in Water Temple.
Yep.
Yeah.
Chloe looks a little bit lost, so where to go next? They're going through the central pillar instead. Instead of doing the little jump. Going into Spirit Temple proper now. Spirit Temple is definitely my least favorite of the outlet dungeons in this run. I just don't. A lot of it comes down to me just hating Twin Rover, but I also just don't find it as interesting as some of the other dungeons. Actually, compared to like Water, Forest, and Shadow. I think Fire and Spirit tend to fall by the wayside a little bit. They're just kind of there. But Fire at least has the interesting part of having like your health management side of things. Whereas Spirit is just kind of like it's fine.
Yeah, that's probably your 5th time saying that. Like you hate Rova.
I mean, like
Spirit.
Come on, like, can you blame me for saying that though? Rova just sucks.
No, I get it. I get it. Dude, the beat Spirit Temple goal on Bingo, I would actually die before I ever pick a row with that. I think I've
done some defeat Rover and beat Spirit rows before, and then sometimes they're okay, but most of the time I just absolutely hate myself at the end of it. I'm like
I think I've done them
I'm done with this thing.
Yeah, I think I've done them like once or twice ever, and I kind of just decided, nope, no, I don't, I don't like this.
Cool movement there with in that room with those rupees.
Yeah, Nally.
Whole cycle lines up.
Nally just posted a message in the chat. According to Nally, I don't know how much you care about the current standings, but Flea is in 1st, Sora 2nd, and Kaut 3rd, all very close. That is
damn.
I mean,
we'll switch back
quite
to
useful,
like
actually.
Some other runners soonish, probably. I guess got some more.
Yeah,
time,
I think it might be good for like when the end is coming up if we switch to like the top 4 and then we.
That was what I had in mind. Just switch back to like whoever's in the lead by the time we get to like Gan's Castle. And like the trial stuff like that, and see what's going on.
Yeah, but we have seen some very impressive performances.
Yeah.
This race so far.
I'm curious though, if Flea and Sora are in tied for that. I wonder what happened to people like Cubex and Danny who were quite close at the start. Must have had some sort of kerfuffles at some point.
Well, like I mentioned before, Danny just hasn't done Glitchless in a while, and I don't know. I don't know if Cubits has done like practice lately.
He does. He does runs quite regularly. He probably just had some issues somewhere.
Yeah, Glitchless is one of those like. There's a lot of places where you can lose like a minute or two, and then those can add up a lot.
Like small mistakes become large mistakes, become disasters pretty quickly in this category. Especially like we said in places like Forest Temple or like Shadow Temple. It's also one of my favorite equips in the game. Din's bombs, FW, the double spell equip. I love this one.
It's pretty good.
It's so snazzy. Never use of Din's fire there. Kick out these Anubis on one go.
Yeah.
Of course, try here as well. You can aggro this guy, go over here, and use an FW again to get back to this room. This doesn't take that much time compared to backtracking from Mirror Shield, but it is quite a nice little time saver. It's maybe like 5-10 seconds, maybe at most. And the adult knuckles are a bit more tricky than the child ones because you can get hit by these guys even when crouching. If you stand here though, you should be fine. Like around their like left foot.
Yeah, there's like it's a more Z position, and you definitely can get like just owned by them.
Yeah.
I do think it's a little amusing, like how useful Dins and FW are in speedruns, and then you will never see Nehru's like ever.
No,
like,
Nehru's is terrible. No one uses it.
Yeah, there's very niche, like there are some very niche use for it, like glitch wise, and that's it really.
It's
like,
just never worth getting at any point unless you're using it to like equip swap stuff. I think they do. I'm not sure if this will do it, but at one point in MST, I think they did get an NL just to equip swap, like something over it.
Yeah, I'm bringing up ILs like a weird amount this race, but there are some ILs that use Nehru's because you can do
fast Hesses and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Natalie just pointed that out, but yeah, I brought up ILs a few times, and I'm trying to promote spread my propaganda.
Also, I love that they've made this entire giant wall you're supposed to climb and dodge all these spikes and enemies, and you can just long shot to the top of it and bypass it completely, and it just didn't account for that, I guess. Which is quite funny. This is a cool little room, because you can't use damage to bypass puzzles in this game. You have to do this puzzle exactly. Involves shooting an arrow through this door, and then get up to this little platform here.
Yeah, well, you can't do it in this category. You said game. I imagine you meant to say late run.
Oh, yeah, I meant in this category. I mean, I said game before I said category. Yeah, in this category, we're not allowed to use damage, like iframes to bypass puzzles. Which is why
that is something.
Like that one, and then the one in Fire Temple, and the little flame wall maze as well.
Depending on the category, there are a couple other places where you would use like in like non-glitchless contests, you would use iframes to open a chest. Like you can do it in GTG for that one key if you're doing like bingo or something.
So that little wall there, that's the last use of a bomb in this category. So the count was bomb perfect. Like I think he did throw a few for fun at some point though. So it's cool little stuff you can do here to clear this puzzle quickly. So up, down, then just stab here, and that just takes out this. I mean, to like line up and like light the eye that way, you can just do that, and it works out perfectly. Defense like that took a while for us to optimize. There's no point in Spirit Trial where you have a lot of optimization for that. Fun, and it took us like years to get to that point. It's only like the last few years or so that people have actually like started to do this optimization for those like sun face puzzles.
Lee and Sora are only 4 seconds apart. Wow, yeah, they've been close together.
After Spirit Temple, I think we can switch back to them probably and see what's up.
Yeah, I was gonna say because they're really close together, and even like Forest Temple. Sorry, we're talking over each other.
No, it's fine. This is an unfortunate downside of Faster Quest is that you have to you can't hook shot this ledge because the fight's already in motion, so you interrupt part of the fight. Rover is an annoying boss fight, which I mentioned. It's almost entirely RNG based. But you can manipulate to some extent and so predict where they're going to be. These little 4 platforms around the arena, if they fly over one of those and stop, then they basically store in a shot. So if they ever get like damaged, the next cycle comes around, you decide who's gonna shoot their like magic next. It's gonna be them. So currently, Ice has one stored, so is Fire. And then Ice didn't do anything. I guess it was on the platform. So Fire has one stored, so using now, and then it's up to RNG at this point. You can get what we call doubles or triples, where they fire like 2 or 3 times in a row from the same position, which does save time, but it can be kind of rare. And even get things like quick shots, we call, where they shoot like straight away and start the fight. That's only really matters in like vanilla runs with cutscene and things like that.
Yeah, I'm looking at KO.
So I was gonna say you need to shoot these guys 4 times to get on to the next phase of any sort of magic.
Yeah, I was just looking at close stream real quick. They didn't even use a setup to get the jump up there. They just see up to went for it and it worked.
You can just win it. It's not that difficult. Yeah. And then second phase Rover, you need to use 3 of the same magic type, but luckily you should always do 3 of the same magic at the start of the fight, so as long as you kill it fast enough, you can skip having to do multiple cycles.
Yeah, so I should probably, I will like look at all the streams. I know Natalie said it, but I'm gonna just take a look at all the streams so that I can see.
Now we can pick the ones who are in the lead and just go from there, follow them to the end, probably.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I'll ping Trez in like a couple minutes.
I mean, we're not in Spirit Temples, so we can probably do it now, so we can get Shadow Temple into Trials. Probably.
Yeah, true. Danny is actually at Rova too.
Close to.
Yeah, Flea Sora count RTA. Okay.
Flea Sora count RTA. Okay.
I believe now. I'll take his word for it.
We'll go with them then for now and see how it goes. Yeah, so Shadow Temple, going to Shadow Temple is quite a hard, fast-paced dungeon, especially if you're on like good pace and never run. It can be quite tricky, and there's unfortunately a bit of RNG right at the start with True Spinner. True Spinner is this little statue, and you have to like push it to the right like pole around the straddling it. Normally you'd Lens of Truth to reveal which one's the right one, but you have Lens of Truth, so you can't do that. So you have to just kind of like push it to the first one, hope it's correct, which is the most likely one it's going to be, and then if it's not, then yeah, just go again until you find the right one. You can lose up to about 30 seconds on True Spinner if you're not lucky enough. Yeah. Before that though is Dead Hand. Dead Hand's a little mini boss where you just try to avoid getting grabbed by the hands, and then you can usually one cycle it pretty quickly using like double hits from jump slashes and stuff like that.
Yeah. I forget, I actually need to remember what the Q is for like getting the jump slash on Dead Hand after he starts walking away from you. I forget exactly what it is.
Well, there's this very handy GIF that was posted in the Discord.
Yeah.
It's when his right arm just to the side. That's why I do it.
Yeah.
At least. Okay, Flea got that's like first try, I think.
No, I definitely know of the GIF. I just don't remember. I don't even remember where to find it. I'll find it later.
So, True Spinner here, they put it towards them, and then that first one they put it to, it's going to ever be one of the back 3 ones. The first one is a, oh god, I'm now, 4 in 9 chance of being correct. Second one is a 2 in 9 chance, and the third one is a 3 in 9 chance. I think that's correct. So the first one's the most likely, the last one's the second most likely. Luckily it's faster on this, because it's faster quest, so you pull it faster, there's no... It's more because like you pull it because that's the way the pole is that you want to.
I know.
This one's pretty neat. You can throw a nut here into the wall, and it should stun all 3 of these sculptures. It didn't. Okay, Flea didn't quite get it. unfortunately, as you use multiple here. But you can get all of them in one go, and that's pretty handy. If you're not careful, you can get soft locked in this room. If you get knocked into the corner by one of the sculptures, you get stuck infinitely in the loop. You have to save walk back out. Team room's pretty neat. Flea's gonna jump to this little ledge here. A little bit of collision on the ground he can jump towards. It's not that precise, but it can be a little bit scary.
Yeah, because if you avoid out there, you have to go like all the way back through the scroll to the hallway.
Yeah, there's no load zone like any point. No like entrance any point from here till you get to the next door. So you avoid any point, you're kind of screwed. Here you can do a damage boost to get on top of this little spike. Okay, didn't clip. You can clip here by accident if you're not careful. And if you do, you have to do it again because it's illegal. This is one of the things that really catch people out is clipping here. Nice.
Who clips?
Yeah, it's and if you do clip there, it kind of sucks because you that spike is on a cycle that works out perfectly. If you don't get it, you have to back it up, and that spike can be in a really awkward position to try and back up.
Yeah, and sometimes like I was gonna say it can be hard to recognize a clip, and so sometimes like runners aren't even sure if they clipped or not, or they find out like when they submit a run. But if you're paying attention to it, you can usually tell.
Yeah, so you see Flea and Sora were doing like some sort of movement out of that room. That's to manipulate the camera in such a way that those little blocks that are moving on chains stay deloaded till the time they want to load them in. So then they know when they're going to be, and they can cross them. You see Count doing it here. It keeps the camera in a certain position and loads the room. Okay, I think this might be a bit off now as you get by the spike, but ideally you should get to this point, and these blocks should be in the same position every time. So you don't have to worry about checking for them with the hook shot. Okay, it's fine.
Yeah,
kind of a bit close, but you made it just fine. If you do get out of sync, you can use the hook shot to like check having to kill the enemies in that room to get out. Otherwise, it can be a bit of a pain. And it's one of my favorite rooms in the game. Is this fan room here? You just use iron boots to bypass to like get through these fans, but you can skip it by just keeping the camera off in the right position, using the chew here to kill the sculpture. Okay, he's using iron boots. Looks of it. It's like a bit. Hover boot strat, right? Yeah. So ideally, use long shot as a crossover, but it can be quite tricky because you got to snap aim towards like a small target, so you can use hover boots instead to get over. And it's just as fast. A little bit slower, but see Sora doing it here. Angle's a bit off, might fall off. Okay, it's fine. And you can jump to this little ledge here. And using bomb shoes to the full effect, because bomb shoes are very fast to blow up. Okay, had a bit of a problem there trying to... If you drop 2 shoes, didn't quite get it there. And then Flea here, you can jump to this little bit on the boat to get up here. Another point where you could easily lose time by avoiding here. And then the boat ride itself is quite a long section, but there's more stuff you can do here. You can avoid spawning in the second set of Starfoss, the second Starfoss that spawns in here, by killing the first one fast enough and then going to the back right side of the boat. It'll bypass the load trigger for the Starfoss entirely. You can just chill on the boat for about hands breathe a little bit. You can just relax a little bit and try to just like stretch out your hands because like you're doing so much in a short space of time. See here, Sora and Flea both sat at the back of the boat to avoid the Starfall spawning. And ideally, you can use a bow here to shoot down this bomb flower while the boat's progressing, and sort of open up the cutscenes a bit more as well. Nice.
Yeah, Shadow does punish so much zero for sure. Like there's just a lot of spots where if you happen to avoid or something, which is very possible in a few instances, like you just lose a lot of time. And then there's also there's also tricky parts like with the getting the damage boost on top of us in the ceiling spike room. Or
there's some new routes they're doing here. Going for the boss key. Normally, as far as I know, you always got the small key first. It's just like a new thing they're doing. It doesn't really matter that much. It's the same shit either way, I guess. But it's just I always thought getting the small key was the way to go first. I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, like that spike wall for the boss key. That's the one
please
required use. Oh no.
There we go.
Yeah, that's the one required use of Dins in the run is getting that in the boss key. Yeah, this floor master is a bit of a pain. Because it's invisible, you can't track where it is. So if it splits off and runs away, you're kind of screwed. You have to try and just hope
I don't
you
think
get
we
one in one go.
I don't think we've really addressed like why some of the runners are doing like see up before a mini cutscene starts,
Oh,
like
yeah.
with the with the chest spawning or whatever. I forget the specifics of it, but it's
You gain
like
control
if
slightly faster, I believe, out of the cutscene. So
Mhm.
you can open the chest slightly faster.
Yeah.
It's a weird little like quirk in this game.
Yeah, and there's a ton of places you can do it, but it's just it's one of those minor optimizations that not a whole lot of people know about, but is useful.
Okay, so this is Bongo. It can be quite a tricky boss fight to learn because the fast strat for this is using. You want to try to stun lock him with crouch stabs. If you stab at exactly 150 BPM, he has a 2-frame window for each stab to hit it with. Try and stun lock it. If you don't stun lock it, it can get a little bit messy because you sort of script the fight up to that point. If you then you sort of like flambe your pants a little bit. So
Oh,
we'll see
yeah,
these guys can actually get the one cycle off.
Nalia posted when first person cam effectively doubles the speed of the cutscene timer the game does. Yeah, that's it. I knew it was something to do with the timer because there's also like a similar thing you can do if you are like out of bounds in water and then you see up. You can there's like a timer
Nice.
that ticks down for your camera locking you out of bounds, and if you're in
Oh my
C
god,
up,
saw
it
it.
speeds up by a few seconds. So I guess it's just a similar thing there, but with the cutscene timer.
So Fleet got the one
Yeah,
cycle. Sora had a weird little like charge spin into a jump slash sort of strat. It was a bit strange and it didn't quite work out for him. Count's doing the optimal strat, which is you hold the stick in a certain direction and manipulates the hands to be right in front of you, so you can get off a shot instantly on one of the hands, and you just get another shot off and then shoot the eye manually. But got a little bit out of it, unfortunately. But should be able to do this. Nice.
nice.
RTA not far behind, getting the boss key. And yeah, this is the main reason why doing Shadow last is optimal. It's 'cause these equips work out perfectly for the start of Trials, and you get this heart container for free, basically.
Yeah. The BPM to crouch stab bongo is 150, right?
Yes.
There's like a specific BPM that you want to crouch stab to so that you get the rhythm for it down.
Yeah,
Some
correct.
players use some players use a metronome either like during the run or practicing with it so that they can get a feel for it. Yeah, RTA is about to head into bongo here.
Yep, and then Flea's head into Trials. Trials is a very... it can be a quite difficult part of the run. There's a lot of movement, a lot of equips, a lot of puzzles to remember. It's really fast-paced, which is why I love it so much. It's just a ton of fun. And some really cool little strats and optimizations in Trials. So we do go through Trials in a the plan you might expect. We go from the right and go around to counterclockwise. So we start with Forest Trial and go around because you need to get golden gauntlets for two of the trials on the side. So starting with Forest Trial, you want to try to avoid killing this Warforce if you can, because if you kill him, it spawns a chest. Ideally, use Din to allow these torches, and then can quickly get a shot off on the last one up here. This Warforce can be a pain. You can kill him by accident if he like turns around and shows his back to you. It takes more damage from the Dins. Luckily, it didn't happen to Flea, so.
Yep.
And in this room, the fans are blowing you all around the place with like silver rupees. And it's a little bit annoying. You're doing a bit of a cycle you could try to hit. So if you went a bit too early and then had to grab this. So this Beamos is going to aggro to him now, unfortunately. If you can avoid aggro the Beamos entirely if you just don't have to grab the ledge there. But luckily it's not that bad, you can sort of recover from this. And then if you're fast enough you can get onto this platform before this fan starts again and blows you off.
Yeah, I have seen people get trolled by the Beamos before, but so long as you have like decent movement, like you're fine.
Yeah. We see here these equips already come into play, like equipping hover boots and immediately going over to grab the bottle. It's faster than doing it in the first pause you do.
Yeah, Trials
Count's
is a
arrow,
very cool
Count's,
section.
has really no arrow count right now. Actually, he needs. he's got to run out of arrows pretty quickly.
Yeah, I know there are magic pots like at the end of each trial. Are there also arrow pots, or is that?
No, the only arrow pot in Trials is in the second room in Light Trial, the boulder section.
Oh, okay. What's the best option for him here? Is it to like go over and do that, or is it to buy arrows
He
from
should
the
be
scrub?
okay. He should be okay to not worry about it. I think. Wait, can you get arrows in Shadow? No, you can't. I'm trying to think now. I think he should be fine. Otherwise, the business scroll is probably the best option.
Yeah. It is a little scary though.
Here's the only good C up strat in the game to jump to this, and you can like hammer this. I talked about this a little bit, but one of the things that's allowed in this is hitting switches and stuff through like collision, because you are supposed to do it in certain points in the game. So we allow it, so you can skip having to get blue fire by just hammering the switch through the red ice.
Yeah, I always thought that was kind of a weird aspect of this game, is that it at a couple points asks you to hit switches like beyond walls. Like there's an instance of this in Water Temple to get gold Scrotula. There's also you do in Spirit Trial actually.
Yeah, you're doing Spirit Temple to get the lower the mirror puzzle in Spirit Temple. Here we're skipping using fire arrows and whatever else. We're using launch shot to get.
I love this strat, dude.
Launch shot's broken. You can just launch shot to the torch and launch shot to the like, and it's very quick.
Yeah.
And then
I don't think there's actually
are required. Unfortunately, you need them to access light trial. So.
And to get the
and to be fire trial as well. Yeah, Rupee and fire trial requires it. So no avoiding this, unfortunately.
I will say, I feel like launch shot is one of those items that you'd expect to get more use, but it's mostly like there's not a whole lot of things in this game that hard require launch shot, I feel like.
No, yeah, you can skip a lot of stuff by just using hook shot, but launch shot is mostly just I'm a convenience more than anything else. It helps out with just little things like that, for example.
Yeah, I do think that like launch shot and the torch channel light is so cool, dude.
Okay, this is my favorite trial. I love fire trial because there's so much cool parkour you can do. I know Flea's gonna go for any of it. You can do forward backflips, just kind of like we call them gainers, but like they're not really gainers in this game. Like forward backflips to like get up on these little platforms faster, rather than to grab the ledges and stuff like that. But it can be a little bit spooky if you. You have to try and manipulate the camera correctly to keep stuff off screen so it doesn't load properly, and then you can manipulate the cycle of it. But if you do it all correctly, it looks fucking sick. Maybe
Flea got Gorenton it earlier, so he is safe to play it as safe as he wants.
Yeah, so Sora, doing a little forward backflip here. People make some time back on Flea, who's... It looks like Flea's like really playing it safe and playing consistent, and it's working out for them. Count not far behind as well. Gaining pace. All really close together. Like, RTA is just a war trial. These 3 are in fire trial.
Yeah. Like
insane,
again, third time I'm saying this, but Flea being first place, like ahead right now, after Dean Goron Tunic is wild.
Yeah.
Like, that is...
Again, Goron Tunic in this is not that bad because the text boxes are not that long at least, but it's still obviously slower than doing the skip. So
yeah, it's like 30 seconds. It's like a minute slower or something.
In vanilla, it's a minute slower, and this would be like I don't know, 20 seconds, 30 seconds maybe.
Yeah,
because of other movement stuff involved and getting magic and whatever. It's faster to like climb up and get magic and then go exit through Goron City than the other way around. So.
Yeah, this room in Light Trial, you just have to kill all the enemies here.
Yeah, there's 4 enemies invisible. Pretty easy stuff. The real challenge in Light Trial comes in the... I said second room earlier, but this is the third room, actually. The one with the boulders. Although, in this room, you gotta be careful, because you can get crushed by this chest if you walk towards it too quickly. which I believe does make the chest impossible to get again. So you gotta be careful.
Yeah, you can get crushed by like that specific chest animation where it like falls from the sky. You can get crushed by chests like that. Like so long as it
Yeah.
has that animation.
Happens in a few
Like
locations. It happens in GTG a few times with small key chests. Happens with the Mirror Shield chest in Spirit Temple as well. So, okay, yeah, this room's
it
a
can
little bit known.
it can technically happen in Forest Temple, but like there's no reason to shoot the eye from where the chest spawns.
Nah, Sora was doing the box movement Scandinavian strat for this room. It used to be a while ago that only Scandinavians would do that. Pretty close, actually. Counts Corpusora in a big way, actually. Not far behind now. Flea's still slightly ahead in Spirit Trial. But still got a lot of stuff still a lot of stuff can happen in that time.
Yeah, there's still a very good chance that one of them pulls ahead of Flea here, because they
I mean, there's a lot that can go wrong in in the Ganon's Tower. The Ganondorf fight in particular can make or break a run if you get the one cycle or not. Cool thing here, you can skip in fight arrows by just shooting a arrow through the torch here. And
I like that trick.
There's a fast strat here with this as well. If you have the shield out, you can like roll back through the light and it will hit the stun face, but it's a little bit finicky. Yeah, counts.
Did we actually?
Sorry.
Oh yeah, I know we were talking about like counts, arrow count earlier. Did we actually see where he got like the extra 10 arrows?
I was not paying attention. But
Yeah.
he got like a 10 drop from somewhere. Shadow Trial, okay.
Shadow Trial, yeah.
Okay, so you can get all arrows. I knew you could get arrows in one of them. I just didn't know which one it was. Was it all of them actually?
Yeah.
So some of them have health instead.
Yeah, I know you robbed Shadow Trial earlier specifically.
When I'm actually like running AMQ, I remember all these pots, but I can't remember what they are. But there's like there's a 10 pot and the shadow. Also one in the middle of the shadow because those two pots are the same. The like.
It's like you like intrinsically know where they are, but you couldn't describe it.
Yeah, I knew there was somewhere. I just couldn't remember. Because like I think fire has health. I think light has health. I think, and then spirit has nuts in a pot for some reason. It's very strange. Tower climb's pretty straightforward. Just kill these enemies as quick as possible. If you get lucky with these Denalfos, you can take them out with one charge spin into like a stab or a jump slash.
Yeah, Sora had a little bit of trouble with the Denalfos there, but
yeah, that can be a little bit annoying.
Alright,
and then you got double knuckles coming up. I love doing double knuckles. I think it's a really cool strat. There's 2 iron knuckles here, and you can kill them both at the same time with the same sword swings. You set them up properly, like this, and just back up, get a few more hits in, back up again. Very nice. Be careful about mashing stabs because you can like clank off of their like weapons. Cheeky little quick spin from count. Who's in second place currently? It honestly might all come down to Ganondorf here if they get the one cycle. That's still like the major like time loss right now is if you have to like 2 or 3 cycle Ganondorf. And the Ganondorf one cycle is quite difficult. Even to like experienced runners, you will fail it. It's just kind of awkward timing you have to kind of get used to. Everyone kind of has their own sort of cue for it, whether it be Ganondorf's head moving, or the sound he makes, or his cape, or something like that. You find a cue, and you try and stick to it best you can. But even knowing that, it's quite tricky, because you've got to do 10 perfect stabs in a row, with like, I think each has a 2-frame window. But the timing is not like Bongo, where you can sort of get rhythm for it. It's just, you have to just go off a visual cue. So this fight could decide this whole race.
There is also
you can use a bottle to deflect back the laser, which is intended by the developers. It's quite funny.
Yeah, There's also quite a bit of lag in the Gandor fight, especially on like N64, which can also,
Yeah.
like that's part of why the timing is so weird.
Okay, Flea got it.
Nice, very clean.
Count got it as well.
God damn, Count is
Ooh,
only
it's
like
close.
a few seconds behind now. This is
5,
really,
6,
really
7,
close.
8, 9, 10. Sora go as well. Very nice. All three of them are like within 10 seconds of each other. This is a very close race to the end. The only things that are left that can really lose you time now are the collapsed Stalfos, which can block your attacks and troll you for a bit, and then Ganon. The Ganon fight could also be a problem if you miss one of the stabs or one of the slashes.
Yeah, the actual like movement down collapse is usually fine.
This is such a
You
close
don't.
race.
Yeah,
And
for
one thing
real
about
now.
collapse is, one thing about collapses is kind of cool is that you can get what we call kisses. If you line up just right, you can get Zelda to like overlap with your collision here at the bars in the cutscene, and she'll push you a bit more towards loading zone. But it is very hard to get them in these bars. The last one in the collapse is quite easy to get, but these ones are quite difficult. I managed to get one when Nine and I were doing AMQ co-op, and I've been trying to replicate it ever since. I have not been able to do it. I don't know how I did it the first time, but I've been able to do it since.
I believe there is like an actual setup for getting the kiss on like the very last.
The last
loading
one
zone.
there is, yeah. You like it's like a backflip side roll setup, but you can't just line up in the middle, and it's not that precise. It saves
That's
like
what I was
a
saying.
frame. It's very, very minor, but it just looks cool. If you're on a 64, you can use magic here to waste time, because if you shoot a light arrow, then that will basically occupy whatever the magic effect is in the game, and so when Zelda opens the bar, she won't do the magic effect, and that saves a little bit of lag frames. It obviously
like
doesn't matter at all, but...
Yeah, like Natalie said, you just don't have the
Sora's-
time for a setup on any of the other potential kisses. Natalie is
Fleeing
coming
counter,
clutch, dude.
like neck and neck. Oh my god! Like right. Sora was getting a little bit
this
trolled
is
by
like-
Stalfos here.
Yeah, second or two now. Yeah, Count might beat him here.
They're like
He's pretty much caught up.
it's like not even half a second behind. It might come down to collapse cutscene RNG. So after the tower collapse, there's a little short cutscene. Obviously in Fast Quest it's skipped a little bit, but there can be some lag in that. That might have an effect. I was 4 1 cycle dwarf. Nice. RT also got 1 cycle. Yeah, imagine if we're watching these 4 and it's actually someone else like Danny is actually in the lead and we don't know it.
Yeah, Danny just like locked in super hard.
Just out of nowhere, Danny or Cubex just suddenly took over or something. And we had no idea. Danny's on dwarf. What a loser.
Yeah, they got like test trials or something.
Please gonna do the setup here for the kiss. Nah, I didn't
Yep,
get it too
but,
slow. Can't go it though.
That's what I was saying. Even in that,
It
even
is
for that final kiss, you barely have.
They are like in
Any time
sync
for
right
it.
now. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, this is.
Oh, Flea's not paying attention.
Oh.
Flea, pay attention.
Flea,
Flea, pay attention.
Flea.
Oh no!
Flea!
Oh,
No,
God.
dude.
It was like not pay attention to the cutscene. I didn't jump slash either. Okay, well counts can win this then.
Yeah,
And you got to do an extra hit in the second phase. So you basically waste a ton of time.
Yeah. Flea will definitely come in top 3 at least, though. I mean, there is technically a chance that he still wins this, but
You can dive the Ganon.
yeah,
It's possible, but I think Count's probably got this at this point.
yeah, like Ganon is pretty straightforward.
Looks like that little brain fart by Flea right at the end is gonna cost him first and probably second place as well. Because Sora's now out of, like I said, Sora entered this fight later, but is now out of the first phase faster because he had the jump slash sword. So you count getting these quick little jump slashes, and that's gonna be GG. Once gets his final hit off.
All right.
You can't stop the goat. What can I say?
Dude.
He doesn't even run glitchless. Look at him. Fucking show off. He really is.
This is so sad, dude. Flea could
GG's.
have gotten it.
Flea could have, yeah, if just hadn't brain fired right at the end in the fight. It was very close. GG's. Very close race
GG's.
between these three.
Yeah. Sub
sure
230 too. That was.
I'm sure Flea's gonna look at count and be like, "Oh, I could have won that if I hadn't realized." It's like Sora was gonna take second and Flea close behind in third. Very close race between the top three here.
But yeah, 229, especially since, like, as far as I'm aware, Count doesn't really run Glitchless that much, is very impressive.
He does not. He joins in for a race every now and then. That's basically it.
Yeah.
But he is just that good at the game.
Yeah, he could have been like, he could have just been grinding, you know, in the lab, and we just didn't know about it.
I mean, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. It's what he does. All right, we can start
Past few
rotating these
months, been
players
doing
out.
a bunch of AMT runs. Yeah,
RTA's
who
on,
is
yeah.
like?
I guess I don't know who's next up, but I guess we can check out Cubex. Probably he's probably getting close.
Yeah, I'll check out
Then
like
maybe
Danny and
maybe Paint. Or Gorfa.
yeah, maybe Gortha. Not sure exactly. It's kind of hard to. It's hard to keep track of 15 people.
Yeah, there's a lot to keep track of here. Where's Cubex? Looks like it's going to Ganon 5 by the looks of it. Not.
I really thought
Oh,
it
he's
was
in
all
trials,
out
okay.
windows for sure.
Oh, he's really far behind. What happened there?
Danny is near the end of collapse.
Yeah, yeah. So far we've got Danny, RTA, Cubex, and Gorfo on screen. Gorfo is finishing up trials. Cubex is into the tower. RTA's in Ganon,
Okay,
and then
yeah.
Danny's finishing collapse off.
He's not vulnerable while he's in the throwing animation, so weirdly you have to be like a little bit further away.
Yeah.
Let me check in with like Paint maybe and see what's going on with them.
It's crazy. People are so good at this category.
The 229 is like 345 vanilla. Is that true? I remember Adam like telling me earlier that like 223 on faster quests is like 336 on vanilla or something.
That can't be right. I don't know actually. I haven't thought about faster quest to run out of time in a while.
Oh.
GG's RTA taking fourth.
Yeah,
I've got
Adam
a
could
player
very much
who's-
just be around.
Got a player
RTA
who's
just finished.
very good at glitchless, but hasn't played glitches in a while, so
Yeah,
Now what?
very
Play Prey.
very respectable times here.
yep. Paints in tower climb. I should have run the guy actually. Where's he at? Alright, Danny's just finishing up now.
Where's Runner Die at the moment?
I couldn't get a stream to load for some reason, so that might be an internet issue, but
Alright. I didn't check in on him. Or I
you
can
check
try.
now. Okay, I'm gonna. He's in Spirit Trial. He's a bit behind.
Oh, okay, so yeah, he has a bit to go. I opened up the bingo race going on by accident.
Probably a good way of seeing like who's doing what. You can check like Adam, Chuckles, and whatever. Chuckles is in Light Trial, Adam in Frost Trial. Cubics going into Gandalf fight, same with Paint and Gorfo, pretty close together. Well, I can tell these three are probably the next closest. It's probably about Danny for someone though.
No!
Paint just barely missing. There might be like one hit off, I think, on getting the one cycle.
It seems, as far as I can tell, everyone is in trials, so... Or everybody is in late.
Close.
Okay.
Yeah. Might get, unless there's someone I'm missing, we might have like everyone finish sub 3. Just have to see.
So we got like a bunch of like groups like staggered together here, which is quite nice. A little front runner group, and then we've got this group just behind them. Probably seen a lot of tower collapses.
Yeah, it's like, you know, once we get to this point near the end of the run where we've already kind of explained everything in it and we've already seen it finish, it's hard to there's not a whole lot to say. You know, just observing how the rest of the runners perform.
I'm very curious to see what happened with some of these runners, because we switched off with these guys like pretty early. I'm just kind of curious what happened, because Cubex was doing quite well. I did want to happened to him, because he fell behind in a big way.
Yeah, in a perfect world, we could, you know,
see
look at,
at the same time,
Run it back.
every single run,
Sorta
but
said.
obviously it's not really viable. Or super viable to do that.
He's getting trolled something fierce by these Stalfos as well. This can happen as well. Stalfos will just troll you forever. It doesn't help that this room's very laggy, and it's got the fire ring and the smoking boulder in the middle. So you just a lot of hazards around and stuff. It's a complete nightmare. It's a really annoying combat arena. That Gorfo getting hit there by that. You also get like block their attacks into the fire hazard and then knock you over, and you get slashed by the Stalfos, and it's one of those things that can just get out of control very quickly. Which isn't great, because you ideally want to go into the Ganon fight with enough health to take at least one hit. If things do go wrong. Ideally you don't get by Ganon at all, but on the off chance you do, you won't be able to live a hit.
But usually you won't get hit by Ganon. It's fairly rare that you do, so long as you know what you're doing.
We are seeing some lag reduction strats here from Runner Guy on S64 though. Turn away from Ganondorf to avoid like oh my god, the lag is insane.
Oh dude, yeah, I was about to say that. I thought it was my internet for a second. It was so bad, man. Holy shit.
You kind of forget how bad it is. Woo! Remember, like back in the day during the GSR tournament, we would see people like VC versus S64, and S64 would be like a minute ahead going into Ganon, like Ganondorf, and then they would lose a minute before Ganon happened.
Yeah, like I was saying, I'm pretty sure N64 loses like, I want to say like 3 minutes over the course of the whole AMT run. Like, it is... Dude, he is mad!
Yeah. Oh my god.
This is very unfortunate for Runner Guy.
Use launch shot, Runner Guy. Use launch shot. Use launch shot. Yeah. You can launch shot the top of the... Use launch shot.
We're climbing up.
That's
this is...
on tilt now.
Yeah, this is a
shot of Navi and she just doesn't say anything.
Okay, that scared me a little bit. This is a classic, just getting hit by Gandorf and having it fall all the way down.
Oh my god, and Gandalf's trolling him by doing the slam attack as the ball. Or troll.
I feel bad for laughing, but just seeing his webcam is really funny. Yeah,
He
this
is nothing if not entertaining. Yeah, he's got.
Yeah, I don't even
okay.
have his audio on.
You can already hear his
This is
voice though.
pro.
Yeah.
He's in the room with us.
Whatever
Oh,
your
poor
phone.
Veronica.
And it's compounded by all the lag. It feels
doesn't
bad,
help.
man.
Collapse is gonna completely just tank this, by the way.
Yeah.
Alright, well, Paint and Cubex and Golfo all pretty close to being done with Cannon. You're gonna see a bunch
Yeah,
of
I
quick
do-
fire finishes here. Looks like
Yeah, I
Paint
do
to
think-
finish this.
I do think Runner Die is like the fastest N64 player so far, though, or is like the most ahead.
Yeah.
Adam might be. Adam might be around
Adam
there. I'm not sure where
was-
Adam is.
I checked a while ago, he was behind Runner Guy, he was in Forest Trial, I think, at the time.
Yeah, but
Good. Nice.
GG's Paint. And
Sixth
Cubex,
place.
still
I'll take sixth
finishing
place,
pretty
bro.
close together.
I'll take sixth place.
nice.
Very nice. And Golfo's back to finish as well.
Oh, the Cthulhu
Uh,
thing, brother.
Yeah, Chuckles coming in.
And Golfo finishing 8th. Well, again, pretty close together. A little subtle section there,
Yeah,
doing
it's
30
a
seconds of
shame
each other.
that
Cubex just said, burned the tapes.
They were,
So.
they were basically
Not happy with
two cars,
that run win, I
would've
guess.
required a reset. We would have had to have reset
Alright,
in D6,
Chuckles,
and we
who's
would have
in
had to have reset.
Collapse. Runner Guy in Collapse. Consultant in Tower Climb.
Mm. Yeah, I don't think we got to see some of the GAN fights because they're like already in collapse by the time we got to them.
Yeah.
We saw Runner Dies, of course.
Yeah, we
But,
couldn't ignore it, really.
Yeah, we don't talk about it. I am interested to see how Consultant handles this though, if he
Yeah.
gets the one cycle.
Major James is in. Is that Franklin? Yeah. Halfway through Charlton. Not bad.
Yeah, 0 triple 240. Very nice.
I'm gonna get Magic.
Yeah, the top 5 runners here were quite a bit ahead of the rest of the race.
Yeah, own little group, really.
Yeah, I got some really good players here. Oh yeah, Adam is stealing. Adam is in light trial, so yeah, it'll be a
Checks
bit. When it checks out, it's crazy.
Oh, yeah, almost got that fast cycle on the boulders as well. You can get these repeats without having to like get by the boulders and wait for them, but it's quite precise to be very good with your movement in this room. Oh, managed to get through without getting knocked over though. That's nice. Oh, Chuckles. Oh no, he's gonna go back for Zelda because she's. So the annoying thing about Collapse is that you have to avoid taking damage from these rocks. Because if you do, then Zelda will stop, and you have to go back and get her. So it's a bit of a pain.
Yeah.
So you have to be
I
very
thought you were.
careful.
Yeah, I thought you were like dissing Adam. You're like, yeah, Chet's out. Of course he would be in. Of course he would.
No, it was
be in
like
trial.
I was like, no, I'm doing it in my head. I'm like, yeah, sorry. He was doing Forest Trial about 10 minutes ago. It checks
Yeah,
out. He'd be around about this close. But yeah, I can see how that would sound. Of course, he'd be in Light Trial. Where else would he be?
Yeah. I understood what you meant after a few seconds.
Alright, it's like Chuckles and Runner Guy pretty close together. But Chuckles is on VC,
Consultant.
which does help.
Yeah, Consultant is having a bit of trouble with Gandorf. That's like. I wasn't paying attention to his stream, but let's say he didn't get the one cycle. Oh. Yep, need to stun him again. Yeah, like we said earlier, the timing for Ganondorf is really tricky. Like you have to space out your stabs just right, but he just got it.
Yeah.
So
very
he will
nice.
be entering collapse very shortly.
Also on the 64, so also dealing with the lag that comes with the territory. As you can see, Runner Guy and Chuckles both entered this cutscene around the same time, and Chuckles is quite far ahead because he doesn't have to deal with the cutscene lag.
Yeah, VC cheaters.
It's substantial. It is. Hey, look. If you guys say it properly, it's V cheaters. Thank you very much.
Yeah, my bad. I know how it's written out, but I never
Yeah,
I didn't actually know if people said V cheaters or VC cheaters.
Yeah, people say V cheaters. It's quite ridiculous actually, just how much lag there is on 64 compared to VC, and it's also even more ridiculous when you go look at IQ or Switch and you realize, oh, there's nothing here. There's no lag at all. What happened?
Yeah, I feel like I never really noticed how much lag there was on 64, like during a casual playthrough. But then you like switch between, a later re-release and 64, like when you're running it or whatever, and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really notice because I was already playing on PAL when I growing up, so I was already at a disadvantage regardless in terms of frame rate.
Yeah, of course though there are still like reasons to play on N64. A lot of players just prefer it. They just like how it feels.
How it plays, how it feels.
And there are some, obviously not relevant for this, but there are some N64 exclusive glitches that can sometimes be relevant for certain categories.
Yeah.
But Chuckle's just finished 245, so GG's.
I think we're gonna let this
guy
play
is
out, and then we're gonna switch over to a raid probably, because our runners I think are quite a bit further behind. So see these guys out, and then we'll go raid someone.
Oh right, Runner guy is so excited.
It's popping off, man. If you get top 10, top 10.
GG's Runner guy.
GG's Runner guy.
And we have well, I mean, we could
probably
does Trez have like a time frame that he wants us to stop, or?
I mean, I don't think so, but I think you said that some of the others are quite far behind, so just after this group are kind of done, we can raid some play people instead.
Yeah, alright, we can do that.
Let me check in with Chloe and Matthias. Chloe's in Shadow Temple.
Okay, yeah, so
Overloads is in Spirit Temple, yeah, so they're quite a bit behind the rest of them, so once this group of 4 are done, Adam and Consultant and James are done, we can move on and raid one of them.
You said add in Consultant, but like Consultant's already here.
Well, I meant like Consultants is this group basically. Once these three are done. It's all a bit too far left there to get the kiss. Adam's also on Adam and Consultant are both on 64, so we're gonna have both a double feature of lag here. It's quite interesting actually that all 3 and 64 players for this are quite close together. They're also in their own little group as well.
He got the one cycle though, so it went pretty well for him.
Yeah, very nice. It's probably easier on 64 actually, because the lag frames probably help a little bit.
Yeah. I've heard like for N64 players that are like play on VC or play on other versions, it's very difficult to adjust to that.
Yeah.
Because of just how much lag there is.
Actually, Consultant's on VC right now. I just noticed he's not getting that much lag in this cutscene. I think he's probably doing VC or dungeons. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't gone back and forth between them personally, but I know people have done both. So like it takes a bit of time to adjust back to like the input delay and learning the lag strats, the lag reduction and things like that. You got put into it because it's a different beast entirely.
Yeah, I'm a Dolphin player, so I play emulated Wii VC, which I don't know where that falls on the hierarchy.
Yeah, it's probably pretty similar to just how VC plays, right? I imagine.
Yeah.
I've only really like swapped between VC and like Ship. Ship is like a different beast entirely.
Yeah, Dolphin is like multiple people have said this, but Dolphin is definitely closer Wii VC than like any N64 emulator is to like N64 console.
Yeah, I mean, N64 is famously a terrible console to emulate for multiple reasons. It's just always been shit. You just can't replicate the architecture properly, I guess.
Yeah,
I'll
I
just
believe
have
we
to
still
struggle with it.
have. I believe we still have the MU Rules discussion channel up, just because we're trying to find a replacement for Project 64 since it's bad.
Yeah, we are making progress in that. We are allowing like EverDrive now, for example, as an emulator, which helps. Oh my god, Sultan,
Yeah.
don't die again. Okay, good, good.
Yeah, there was also some discussion surrounding like how we should, like enforce additional restrictions on MU, or if we should have restrictions. Like I think an idea that was brought up with like Torch and a couple others were like potentially allowing emulator runs to be in the top 10%, but just hiding them by default. Could be a potential solution, since the 10% rule is frustrating for some MU runners, but
Yeah, so
I don't know.
if you're not familiar with OOT emulator rules, we have a rule in place which says that you can use emulator for the main boards, but provided your time isn't within 10% of the current world record. Which means it essentially is there as a way to, I mean, the emulator is a way for people to kind of get started and try the game out and see if they like it. And if they start getting good at the game, they can then invest into a console and play in that official hardware instead. Because it's not asking much really, because Wii's are everywhere and very cheap and easy to find. People play on Switch nowadays and whatever else. So. Okay, also, Adam's got the same thing that Chuckles had, where he took damage, and so Zelda had to stop to like gasp at him. So he has to just go back.
Gargan chat, as a former crab in the bucket, I said nah, fuck them, you're runners.
Plus,
like, he's like he climbed up the ladder and he's pulling it up.
He's putting a little spire to that, honestly.
I'll always be. I don't know about always. I do have like a modded Wii with OT, but my capture card isn't very good.
Yeah, I feel that. I was rocking an old GV USB 2 for many years. An old piece of shit 480.
Just like, and to be honest, I don't do actual runs that much, so it's not like a big deal for me to run MU. Although I will say, actually, neat thing about the 10% rule, emulators can get IL world records. That's legal.
Huge.
That's like the...
Get on the people.
Yeah, MQ is also more lenient with it. Like, I think their rule is 5%, but that's because no one cares about MQ,
yeah, MQ is... people don't really run MQ that much. MQ is quite cool. But it's interesting, you know. I would like MQ to get more love, but just nature of how things, right? People don't really care much about it.
Is this live or evolved? This is live.
Yes,
RTW.
we're just finishing up. We're just finishing the race. We're gonna see these two finish, and then we're gonna go raid one of the other two runners who are a bit further behind in the race.
Yeah, you should be able to watch the VOD later though if you want to go through the whole race. I believe there should be a YouTube re-upload, right? I assume they're gonna.
I believe so. I think they do have all their events on here. It's worth watching because it was a very good race, very close race.
Yeah, like just to reiterate, the top 3 times were 2:29.44 by count, 2:30. My bad. Co-streaming YouTube and will be available as a VOD. Okay.
I'm just finishing up here. Jameson's last little cycle of Ganon. Oh, oh no. All right, we can probably just go raid Vigil James and see him to finish off this sequence. Unfortunately, death to Ganon's pretty traumatic. You gotta start the clap sequence from the beginning. But GG's to Adam for finishing 12th place.
I could also raid one of the other runners because I assume video's gonna stop streaming after this race. So, yeah, we have some runners that have more to do.
Then how about we raid over to Matthias?
Sure, I'm down with that.
All right. So that's our conclusion here for now. While video is struggling to get through the mess. Oh no, I guess it's not lagging as much. It's not N64, so it's not quite as much of a mess.
Yeah,
but
there's no lag anymore. Luckily,
Yeah.
on VC when you for some reason.
Thank God. But yeah,
Thank
big
God.
shout outs to all the runners, of course. Big shout outs to, of course, you two, Kadrin and Greg. Thanks for being here.
Aw.
Thank you for hosting. Been a
course.
pleasure.
Yeah, thank you for hosting. It was fun.
Of course, of course. And I hope you all enjoyed it. We're gonna head out for now. We're gonna raid over to Matthias. And that's it for now. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back hopefully with more OOT content in the future. You will see it here or on OOT TV. Until then, thank you all so much for watching and see you soon.
Bye.
Yep. Have a good day / night.
Bye.